here have ran this race with us together. So we hell of excited. I know everyone individually has had their own kind of year, and what I want to do is just thank everybody for rocking with us, and hopefully that you've gained and gleamed and absorbed some extra wisdom that can carry you on to the next year and compound. There's nothing like entrepreneurship. You cannot entrepreneur on an island. You can't. And this environment is one of the purest environments that can help nurture us and our community as Black entrepreneurs. Because, as you know, as I say a lot, it's a cold game. It's a cold game out there. And so to be able to exchange ideas and wisdom and knowledge consistently, like it ain't no place like it. And so, as we end this class, Nana and I, we've put a lot of energy and effort in trying to reframe a lot of the wisdom in governing knowledge in different ways to maybe help you guys get it a little better and apply it a little different. We also applied new thoughts, new ideas, new concepts that we hope that you can ingrain into your psychology and into your rhythms and in your activities, because our goal is for you to grow. That's why we're here. We'll make no money from this. This is volunteer. But we get paid when you grow. I get paid emotionally when you get better. When you expand your business, when you scale, when you stop being defensive, when you ain't playing right and wrong no more, when you start taking more radical responsibility, like that's how we get paid. That's how we get paid back. And to see that growth is, man, that really it makes it easy for us to keep doing this. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone at home with the questions and the text all year and the thought. Shout out to Nana. Nana, again, he elevates this class every year. Every year. And as our businesses are getting busier and scaling and going through whatever they go through, then there's still time carved out to think about how we can elevate this and make a better experience. So shout out to Nana again and the 510 team who show up every Wednesday and curate this space for everybody and for you guys. So let's get it cracking. And before we hit the first slide, I want to talk about something. And I'll touch on it at the end, but I want to just tap it a little bit. And that's fear of mistakes. We're wired to play the perfection game. It's not anybody's fault. If you're a perfectionist or we're wired, because millions and years of evolution says if you get caught slipping, you could die. Right? You slip you can fall off the cliff. You do the wrong, if you don't hear that noise and you don't react the right way, you get eaten. If you eat a mushroom that looks like the mushroom, but it's not the mushroom, die. Like in the wild, it's so easy to die, right? In today's society, we have things like seatbelts and rails and savings accounts and elevators and guardrails and airbags and so many things that insulate us from failure. So over the years, some of us have grown accustomed to, we call it runway and redundancy in mistakes. And when you're a kid, you get a small window to make mistakes. But then when you become an adult, that window almost gets closed instantly. You know what I'm saying? Who left the house at 18? Anybody?
I was 16.
Who 18 and younger? Half the room almost. 19? 20? Yeah. So nobody in this room was at their mama and daddy house past 20 damn near. Right? So once you exit, now the room for error gets really, really small. Really small. And so you grow to be accustomed to really gravitating toward perfection. You grow accustomed to gravitating to I need to get it right in one take. No mistakes. But entrepreneurship, what's up? How you doing, man? Entrepreneurship, you have to get comfortable. You have to understand. You have to almost get completely acceptable in the fact that failure is going to happen more than successes do in entrepreneurship. It's the few wins that give you the runway and supersede the losses. That's what happens typically. So in our world, they call it the difference between flesh wounds and mortal wounds. Flesh wounds are your runway. That's your one runway before your mortal wounds. So if entrepreneurship means you're gonna get scraped up. Black eyes. What's that scar right there? What happened? What's the scar? Why are your knuckles all bruised up? Why? Because you have lots of flesh wounds. Because an entrepreneur life, going through entrepreneur life is going to give you flesh wounds and scars to go with it. Now, what you want to avoid is mortal wounds, wounds that take you out the fucking game. That's where it's bad. But flesh wound is part of the game. And some of you guys don't want no flesh wounds. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get no. I don't want to scratch. I'm too pretty to be scratched up. I'm too pretty to get into a fight.
Too cute.
I'm too pretty to be. I don't want to mess up my face. You can't entrepreneur. You can't entrepreneur. When we talked about how, like, when you, like, now the game's changed. You used to be able to size people up and see, I can take them, maybe I can't. You see a 5'9" white boy with puffed out ears, you might want to think twice. I don't care how big you think you are. If his ears is all fucked up, he might whoop your ass. Because his scars are a reflection of his training. His scars are a reflection of the hours he put in and the pain he put in to really become a master at his craft. And do you really want to go against that? That's what we're talking about as entrepreneurship. It's riddled with it. It's riddled with it. So you have to be cool with the failures. Don't feel good. Not saying it feels good. Not saying it feels good. But you have to accept it. Come to terms with it. I mean, you're kind of a sick motherfucker if you like, yeah, I like it. Oh, yeah. Give it to me. Punch me in the face again. No, that's your mind is in the gutter, Shabisha.
Hey, yo.
Mind in the gutter. The last pause of the year. Look at this.
I'm sure it won't be the last.
All right, let's get it going. Let's get it cracking.
Run your own race.
We're gonna finish what we finished last week.
Comparison is one of the most destructive habits you can develop. It quietly drains confidence, creates insecurities, and convinces you that you are behind, even when you're exactly where you should be. Every person has a different timeline, different gifts, different starting points, and different mission. When you compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, you distort your reality and lose your power. The only person you should be competing against is the version of yourself from yesterday.
Okay, so question. Do any of you in here have privilege?
All of us.
Privilege?
Every last one.
You're the white privilege? Do you have privilege? Let's pass the mic around. What's your privilege? Do you know? You know what your privileges are? Who want to go first? Go ahead, Cool Breeze.
Y'all got jokes today. I have the privilege of being a business owner. I have the privilege of being able to play this economic game. I have the privilege of being able to control what I do and don't do with my time. We have privileges just from being alive today, things that we have access to that no generation before us did.
Those are good privileges. What else? Who else?
Yeah, I was going to say something like similar to her, like privilege to be alive, but shelter, something that we take for granted, but it's a privilege.
Education.
Any other privileges?
Healthcare.
Any other privilege?
Access to social media, that's a privilege.
Access to social media. Oh, I think some of y'all, I think you guys missing it. I think you're missing it. In correlation to white privilege, what privilege do you have? Tone Vic says none. Oh, yes. This is dialogue. So you have no privilege.
In correlation to white privilege.
So from a definitions perspective, white privilege is, you're using your privilege to do X, Y, and Z.
Because you're white.
Do you have privilege?
Yeah.
That now we going somewhere. Now we going somewhere.
You have the understanding
keep
of
going.
your culture.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Can I tap in? I think we often think about having less than, so then we undermine what we do have access to. So like our culture as Black people gives us a lot of privilege. We have our own understanding, language, values. There's just so many things that because it's not theirs or it's not what we think to be valuable, we discredit it. We have a privilege of our own language, like they call it ebonics to try to make it look bad, but it's a communication. We have we just have so many things, but we just think because it's less than, we don't see value in it. And that's why other cultures capitalize on that, because we don't see value in it and they do.
Getting warmer now. Getting warmer now. Getting warmer now. Privilege. Like, remember Nana talked about last week, he said, and I quote, It isn't like slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights movement didn't happen. So, which makes us wounded, but we still have a what? A play. Mm-hmm. We still got to play. Well, if you don't know what your privileges are, what's your privilege, it's hard to make a play. And we all, like, radical responsibility, leadership. A wolf knows their privilege, meaning what was I born with, or what tool that I create within myself that on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 10. Whether I inherited it, it's genetic, or I learned the skill. You got to know what yours is. You got to know it. If you don't, then it's hard to make a play. And you'll be busy running after things that isn't part of your wheelhouse or your strengths, and your strengths is over here and your wheelhouse is over here, but you're trying to do all this other stuff that's not part of your privilege. Where's your privilege at? You get where I'm going? Mm-hmm. This is important. If say you're a beautiful, beautiful woman, right? And you don't even know. You downplay it. Is that a privilege or isn't it?
It is.
So what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? Say all your life you just had this mouthpiece. You just firm. You could put a wig on a pig and a girdle on a turtle. You didn't go to class or school for it. You didn't do. That's a privilege, right? So in entrepreneurship, what side of the business are you going to focus on? Sales. You're going to be on the sales side, right? Say for you just had this knack for trends. People in high school, when you growing up your whole life, people be like, man, I love your style. Where you get that from? You got a stylist? You didn't go to school for it. You see what I'm saying? Say you're naturally good looking or naturally tall or naturally fat. Like, what is your privilege? Because your privilege is where your strengths lie for you to really add leverage to what you do. Because the game is the way the game is. We talking about the make a play that Nana talked about last week. Think about this. If you wounded, we are wounded, right? Just based on being products of slavery. We're wounded to some degree. We started the race, talking about run your own race. We started the race further back than everyone else in life. So we want to be entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, which is successful black entrepreneurs are 1% of the entrepreneur population, 1%. So you mean to tell me if you don't know what your strengths are and you wounded, how the fuck are you think you're going to win?
It makes me think about when Nana would talk about how he used to love when white people would show that they were racist, because he was like, all right, I'm going to gamify this because now I know what to use against you. And it's like, if you're constantly taking the victim space, then you don't even have the option to strategize that weapon because it's a gift to you. Like, you can leverage that. But if you're always looking at what's not fair or, the odds, then it's like, okay, well, you're going to stay a punk because ain't nobody about to come and help you.
Exactly.
It also, it lends to some of the first classes of knowing thyself.
Yes.
So as you get to know yourself better, you're able to, go through that process of what your purpose is and what your gifts are. And that's kind of like where I'm at now. How do I just hone in on what I'm good at? I don't care about the stuff that I'm not good at. Staying in that kind of circle of competence, growing that, but also knowing who I am and how other people view me, not just how I show up myself. And that's allowed me to see some superpowers that were in my blind spot. And so, some of the privilege, hell, I got gay privilege, I got black privilege, I got hood privilege.
You think
I can
I'm saying?
walk through, like we were just saying, we can go on any MLK block and be all right in the world.
That's what I'm saying. So Fern got gay privilege. She has woman privilege. She got black privilege. She got a hood pass. She has a corporate pass. If you just dumbly walking through life like, I don't know how I'm getting some of this stuff and life ain't fair, then you playing that, you hustling way backwards. But if you can put your privileges up and lay them out like cards to know, oh, I need to play this one right here. Oh, let me pull it. I'm gonna hide this one for now, but I'm gonna play this later. That's high level strategized entrepreneurship. I didn't have when I first started Courtsmith, and my chops, my mouthpiece chops were really bad because I talked and rap because I rapped for so many years. I'm not talking to no customers. That ain't my privilege. I'm not talking to customers. Somebody else do it. I'll do the stuff that where my brain, they say, how the fuck do you do that? That's where I'm going. And once you know your privileges, those are the cards you can play. We already wounded, which means if the deck is 9 cards, we only got 6. So we already playing with a short deck. So you have to know, you have to count cards. You have to know, you have to try to predict who has what. You got to look in people's eyes and see you have to do all of it. That's how real and serious this game is, or you just playing it to play. You can't play entrepreneurship. See what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to run your own race, because I don't got the privilege he got. Now I don't wake up at 11 damn o'clock every day.
5 a.m. every day.
I can't, like, if I don't get up, my alarm goes off at 5:30. If I don't get up by 6:30, I will stay in bed. Like, I got a window. Because I'm built different, just like you built different. You built different, but we all have strengths. We all have privilege. See what I'm saying? There's so many stupid, easy examples. 30 years ago, light-skinned women had privilege over dark-skinned women, right? Just the way it is. My mom used to tell me all the time. She'd be in the waiting room interviewing for a job, and because they needed one black woman. They call it the obligatory black. And like 5-6 black women fighting for the job. And my mom, super light skinned. She walk in, sit down, and all the dark skinned women is like, oh, well, she gonna get the job. And she would get it. Because that's how the game was back then. Right? Privileges shift and turn all the time. But you gotta know. Gotta know. If you don't, or you try to play dumb, or you try to play shy or ignorant, or close your eyes to the fact because it's not fair, you fucking losing. You know why? I mean, like, if like me, what's his name again? Dalen. Me and Dalen, we walk up to a court. They picking teams. Me and Dalen walk up to the court. I stand like this. They're going to be like, I got court, the tall one. Knowing he's a better hooper than me. We know this. He's played better. He's went farther than I did. But guess what? My tall privilege is going to get me picked over you. That's just it's not fair. Life ain't fair. Who said life was supposed to be fair? That's happening all the time in business. That's happening all the time in life. It's happening all the time, all the time. It's happening all the time. Right? What's your the only way you know what your privileges are is when you running your own race, when you looking at your own cards. If you looking at somebody else, like, oh, I want their cards. Well, see, I'm not, like, it's easy for you. You looking in other people's hand, wishing you had they cards. You not realizing what your privileges are. This is the coldest. This the coldest game ever. So if you comparing yourself to what you see on Instagram with filters and, like, that's crazy. Have you seen if you look behind the person and seen the dirty ass rooms of a lot of them people? And the stuff they renting and not buying, and you complaining, the yachts people be on, like, come on, blood. Run your own race. Run it. Run your own race. I don't come from where you come from. I don't got the privilege that you got. I pass an eye test with a certain group, and people tuck their purses in a different group. I got to know that. Fern can walk in. Everybody loves Fern. I've came up behind Fern and with different meetings and different people, and it doesn't matter the demographic. You know Fern? You know Fern? Oh, we love Fern. Well, tell me I'm lying. Somebody's tell me I'm lying. We don't believe you. Whoa. She's a woman. She's a woman. Anyways. That's two pauses.
Like
I'm on my second pause. Anyways, do you get my point? Whatever that is that she got and I don't got. If I wanted to like, Fern, let me study you and figure out what you're doing so I could copy. It won't work. I'm trying to follow your recipe and I'll go down a rabbit hole of failure because you have your own swag, your own style of dress. I'm not you. Your personality was curated and created over the years of time. I can't copy that. I can only do me. Where are my strengths? What is my focus? What am I paying attention to? What things have I learned? So understand, run your own race. Where were you yesterday? Where were you 6 months ago? Where were you 6 months ago? I don't even care anybody. Where were you 6 months ago? And at what degree have you improved from 6 months ago? And that's it. That's it. Now, I'm not talking about competitors in your industry, competitors that are you're neck and neck with. You look to the left and to the right, like, okay, we're all on this block together and we're all in the vicinity of each other. Let's play this game. Let's go. I'm talking in general in life as a person. Get through, beat your addictions before you start talking about comparing to somebody. Learn discipline. Stop doing the shit you know you need to stop doing before you get down because you don't have what the other person have. Come on. You ain't even, like, you got hella far to go within yourself versus trying to think about who you competing against. Keep going.
Run your own race. Set your own pace. Build your own timeline. Stay locked into your lane.
Man, that's it. That's it. When you get caught up in the, man, I'm 30. By 30, I said I was going to be a, damn. Or when you like, well, this person's my age and they're already a, Well, did you know that his privilege, his rich uncle funded his business? You didn't? Oh, you didn't. Oh, now you wiping your tears? Yeah. Did you know that she's the cousin of Danny Glover and he put her on? Oh, you didn't know that. What's your privilege though? Where you have an advantage? Where do you win? That's run your own race. Next slide. And I could ask the question. I'm not sure if anybody will have the courage to answer, but who do you compare yourself to now? And if people got a little coward in them, it's okay. You could just use it as a rhetorical question. But if anybody wants to have the courage to answer, that will be dope, because it'll give people the freedom to answer as well. Let's start with Shakina.
The perfect motherfucker in my head that doesn't exist. And what I mean by that is I have a lot of really dope, successful people around me. And I was the person to be like, by 30, I want to be a homeowner. By 35, I want to be doing this. And I would beat myself up because I didn't hit those specific benchmarks, that I discredited everything that I did create. And so there's this constant comparison that stems from like not feeling good enough, even though like I'm proving that to be wrong every day. But I literally compare myself to this fake person that does not exist, of this version that I think I'm supposed to.
Dope. Josh?
Also, what Shakina said also.
You know I love you, Josh, by the way.
I love you too, honey. No, I really do. But the other person I compare myself to is whatever director I think is amazing that I'm watching, thinking that I have to hold myself to that standard, and I'll keep it short.
Dope. Thank you. Jasadi.
Nah, Jasadi can't go. I got the mic.
Oh, you go ahead.
Nah, yeah, he good. Jasadi good. First of all,
I could
yeah, like I was saying, what the
My name
Nah, you go ahead. All right. We're not cowards, by the way. I'll answer your question. You know what I compare myself to?
Ooh.
I actually compare myself to everybody, to the idea of what everybody, people that I know, even people in this class, who y'all think I am. And I'm being honest with you and transparent with you because you try to call me a coward. But
I love that.
But that's who I compare myself to. I compare myself to who you guys think I am. And I've heard it. And I use that as fuel. And it could be full of ego. It could be bad. Be whatever the fuck you want it to be. But that's who I compare myself to. Who y'all think I am, or who I think I am. Straight up.
Thank you for that. Jasadi, that was tight.
Yeah, that was fire.
To you, Jasadi, because he think
I compare myself to a lot of the young cinematographers that I see, just like when I'm watching movies and I find out that the cinematographer on that movie was like 26 or like because I think about like how, like what I was doing at that age, and I was like, well, I'm not doing what I'm doing now, and I overlook the accomplishments that I have now because I'm comparing myself to so many like other like young people, and it's just like, you know, it's corny, but like it's a marathon, not a race, you know what I'm saying? But like I just be comparing myself to like folks who are young but in the industry, you know, doing the shit. Like
How'd that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I should have, like, I get in like that should space of like, oh, I should have started this earlier if I would have focused on, like, I started getting shoulds a lot and just cognitive distortions and stuff. So.
Have anybody ever compared themselves to somebody so hard that they went immediately to, I'm not shit, I'm a failure, I'm a low life, let me go to bed and curl up? Has that ever happened?
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't, you haven't compared good enough, because I know I have.
I think everybody does that naturally, especially when you're in the space of, if you're doing something. For instance, man, I remember when I was rapping, there was a cat that maybe you and I both know, he started a little bit after, like actually a lot after us, so I at least know. And I remember he got a deal. And I was like, man, I was doing this way before him, man. I put him on and I helped him get shows, and man, fuck this, man. Maybe I'm just not good enough. So I compared myself to that. I didn't go up and ball myself up into a corner, but it did have me second guessing myself and thinking, you know, questioning myself. I think as human beings, we do that, especially when somebody else seems to win that deck of cards a little bit quicker than us.
Yeah.
And they just started in the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's what comparison does. And it's a destructive virus that can get inside of you and detract from your success as an entrepreneur. That's their race, not yours. Maybe they know thyself better. They knew what their strengths were. Who knows what the elements are? But their time is not your time. So running your own race is important. It may not come at 30. It may not come at 25. It may come at 45. It may come at 50. Who knows? But when you run in your race, here's the thing. As long as you're not running backwards, you good. As long as you're not running backwards, you good. As long as you're running forward, you are good. So even with setbacks, even with getting knocked down on your face, even getting smacked around, if you learn the lesson from the failure, you're running forward. Next slide. Oh, we're here.
Your internal voice speaks thousands of words per day. It shapes your confidence, your decisions, your emotional state, and your identity. If your self-talk is negative, harsh, or catastrophic, your life will reflect that internal environment.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur, predominant as a black entrepreneur, our self-talk game has to be high. We have to have the ability to have a voice sitting on our shoulder at all times to be able to walk us through and navigate through the psychology of entrepreneurship, the psychology of failure in entrepreneurship, the psychology of running our own race. Because here's the thing, just because we know not to compare doesn't mean that the comparison voices aren't going to start cropping up. Just because we know the space between stimulus and response and it is a choice doesn't mean that we can't fall victim to going 0 to 100. So we know a lot of this stuff in this class, but it doesn't automatically implement itself into your system. You have to have that voice to pause you, to stop you, to reframe you, to take you into a different direction all day, every day, for the rest of your life. You have to have that voice here saying, man, I'm 30 years old and I didn't reach my goal. Before you get to I'm a failure, you have to have the self-talk part of you that pulls all the stuff from the books you've read, the church, the religious services you've been to, this class, to be able to walk you through out of that dungeon of comparison and low self-value, because you know this stuff. But if you don't activate that voice in your head that's constantly pulling you out of certain situations and into a positive direction, and none of this works. So remember, we maybe this is 2 years ago, where we put questions in place for you, right? Is this true? Remember that? Remember the is this true? Man, I'm a failure. I'm a failure. Is this true? Am I 100% sure that this is true? Am I 100% sure this is true? Can I prove that in the court of law? Remember, some of this stuff sounds easy, but this is a high level psychology. When you ask yourself the question, and then you take yourself down the space of where you want to be, and you ask, what can I learn from this? Is this true? Self-talk is your navigator to success. It's your navigator. It's like your navigation in your car. Because if you're just idle and you allow the voices that are in your head that's been there for your whole life that probably are negative to dominate your thinking, then guess what you think is going to happen? You're going to continue to think that way. Doesn't agree. The voice that's natural for you, the voice that's your nature, didn't go to this class. You know that, right? So the voice that's your nature is a cold piece. So you have to be able to stop and start building the muscle of these tools and activate them with self-talk. Remember, I'll just use Nana for example. When Shakina was commenting a while back and she was saying that, her and Nana be debating and Nana get all heated and it becomes this huge, big, angry debate. But then lately, once it starts getting close, he'll say, hey, I'll be right back. And then come back and restart the conversation over in a calmer space. You know what that's called? It's called growth. It's called implementing the tools. It's called executing the strategy from your head down to your actions. What happens is you're running the same play, the same routine, the same recording that you always run. That's your nature. But that voice, that hope voice that used to be very quiet, it starts getting louder, to where it's like, hey, you should probably chill. Go take a break, take a breather. Do it now, right now. Hey, okay, all right, hold on. That muscle is getting like this. And maybe 2 years ago, that voice came to him way after it was already over. Carnage, the body's already on the ground. And you're like, hey, man, maybe I should have stopped in the middle and came back at a later date. But as you continue to evolve and the muscle gets bigger, then it allows you to step in earlier. That's what we're trying to get all of us to do. That's self-talk. Hey, I'm starting to get a little heated. Motherfucker making me mad. While I still have enough consciousness, hey, you know what? Hold on 1 second. No problem. Hey, hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. So you just took a left or a right. Entrepreneurship is very little about spreadsheets. Successful entrepreneurship, very little about spreadsheets. It's mostly about you, your psychology, your emotional agility, your ability to execute, wisdom. Unexecuted wisdom is just knowledge. And that's like having a Lamborghini with no car keys. It's just there. And people walk by it and be like, ooh, that's clean. And you be like, yeah, it's mine. Man, that's clean. Oh, man, yeah, it's mine. But you ain't never drove the motherfucker. Why? Because you have it, but you do not have the tools to drive it. So a lot of us gather this knowledge. We read these books. We learn this stuff, but it just sits in our garage. It sits outside for people to walk by and be like, man, you knowledgeable. You know a lot of stuff. Before I start like I said, 7 years ago, before this class, I talked in raps. My vocabulary trash. I couldn't communicate out of a paper bag. I still sound hella hood. But it didn't, if you talk to me, you'd be like, damn, this dumb motherfucker. It didn't change the output, the execution. I was a millionaire then. But if you talk to me, you absolutely would not think so. Because I didn't have the vocabulary. I couldn't I couldn't put words together because I read all the books. I did all this, but as soon as I read it, I did it. As soon as I read it, I tried it. And there weren't people in my hood to pass this kind of knowledge to, so I didn't have the muscle or the practice to exchange it. So if you talk to me, you wouldn't think in a million years. Because this stuff this isn't for talking as much as it is for doing. Let's keep going.
You learned reset the narrative, correct the exaggerations, speak to yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Question.
Okay, so speak to yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. That's key. Why am I so stupid is not a good one. What's wrong with me? Not a good one. If you were responsible for helping you, if you were assigned to you to help them become a successful entrepreneur, what would you say to yourself during certain situations? That's it. Next slide.
Grit versus quit.
Sheesh.
Growth requires friction. Pressure, challenge, uncertainty, discomfort.
Hey, the comfort class is 2 doors down.
Down the hall.
Entrepreneurship, it comes with friction, pressure, challenges, discomfort. It's part of the game. And if you haven't experienced it yet, stay an entrepreneur. Watch it happen. If you haven't laid in bed at night, looking at your ceiling, trying to figure life out, maybe I should get a job. If you ain't done that yet, I don't think you ain't entrepreneur hard enough. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should get what my resume look like. Maybe you should. You ain't entrepreneur hard enough yet, because that comes with it. That scary, pit in the stomach feeling that, oh shit. That comes with it. So successful entrepreneurship is not frictionless. If you don't believe me, then get into a habit of reading autobiographies of entrepreneurs. And they will make you feel very comfortable at what you're going through. Keep going.
Grit is commitment to the process, even when you don't feel like it. Quit is choosing comfort over calling. You learned times get tough when they're supposed to get tough. The goal isn't to avoid pressure, it's to grow under it. What are you asking for? The removal or the strength?
Come on. Here's why. Any 100K entrepreneurs? Any 200K or 200K entrepreneurs? Any 500K entrepreneurs? Okay, so let's talk 200K and below entrepreneurs. If you're rubbing up against a problem, right? You're coming up against a problem, and it's stressing you out, and you're tossing and turning over it. What you are saying is, I have reached my limit of what I can handle. I've reached the 200K. So my capacity is 200K in this moment. My capacity is 100K. I'm about to break under the pressure of $50,000 a year, or $75,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, or $500,000 a year. I've bumped up against my limit. So if I'm stressing out and the world is coming to an end, look at what you've generated, and that's where your psychological, emotional, mental, financial limit is. So if you want more, then you have to be able to handle more stress that comes with it. So what you're telling yourself is, oh man, shit is so bad. What did I make this year? 200,000. Oh, you're saying this is it. I don't want no more. Stop here. I want things to be easier. Come down. I liked it when it wasn't as stressful. So I don't want this much stress. Bring it down. But you're also saying, bring my capacity down. Bring the amount of revenue that I can handle down. You can't ask for $1 million, but you can only handle $50,000 problems. The fuck? Like, have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? Some of us, like, we running from $50,000 problems, but yet we got on our dream board, I want to make $1 million. That means you got to be able to handle whatever comes with whatever problem comes with it. And not saying that it's going to feel good and you're not going to be stressed. Of course you are. But when you're talking to yourself, are you asking for the problem to go away, or are you asking for strength to overcome it? If you're asking for it to go away, so will your capacity to generate revenue, straight up. If you're asking for strength to overcome it, you're saying, this don't feel good, but I want more than this. So I want to be able to handle this. So 2 years from now, this is nothing. It's fire, bro. Fire. Jordan, facts or not, 2025, worst year of ever in our business. There was a time during COVID, I was like, oh God, COVID, this is so bad. I can get through COVID waking up at 11 o'clock with Nana. If another COVID happened, I could wake up at 11 o'clock every day. Because it would be that easy now. So be careful what you call grit and what you call quit. Be careful. Because what you call quit is also saying stop. Next slide.
The three forces: nature, willpower, and discipline. Nature is your own wiring and environment, your starting point, not your excuse. Willpower is the spark that gets you going, but it won't carry you when you're tired or scared. Discipline is the system you follow when feelings don't show up. Remember, willpower starts, discipline finishes.
Willpower has no longevity. So remember that. Discipline does. Discipline will get you there. That's why getting caught up in fads, get rich quick schemes, become rich and become a successful entrepreneur in 2 days, buy this book and you'll be rich. A lot of us get caught with that because we want to play the willpower game versus the discipline game. All you have to do is, and you'll be successful. Entrepreneurship it takes years to shift your psychology based on pain and nurturing. Nutrients and pain. And that takes time to change you. You will not be the same after certain amounts of growth in business. You just won't be the same. I called this brother one time. I'm like, fuck, I ain't cool like that no more. I remember but you have to follow a certain pattern, a certain rhythm to be cool, to be at the end, the trend setting, the edge of the trends. You got to follow a certain rhythm. You got to watch certain things and listen to certain kind of music and hang out at certain places. There's a rhythm that comes with that. And if you were invested and deep dived into entrepreneurship and success, then a lot of times you sacrificing that for for growth financially. So willpower can get you to say, oh, I call willpower DJ Quick, the DJ Quick effect. And that is that song Tonight when he says, he raps about getting drunk, right? And then that next verse, he says what? He said, God, God, you help me keep living. I ain't going to drink no more, right? That's willpower. You got the motivation. You felt the pain. And then the next morning, the environment starts looking appealing again. The girls start running in. The homies come. The music slaps. And you get caught in the pattern of the rhythm of that environment. And now you got a drink in your hand. And he said, I thought you wasn't drinking no more. Yeah, right. Because as soon as they come, we doing the same old thing tonight. That's because willpower dropped off. And when it drops off, it drops hard and fast. You see what I'm saying? You to the point where you like, wait, I just said I wasn't going to do it. The fuck am I? Well, I'm in it. I'm already here. You see what I'm saying? Discipline says, I don't care. As long as I'm alive, I'm showing up. If I feel like it, I'm doing it. If I don't feel like I'm doing it. If I'm sick, I'm doing it. If I'm tired, I'm doing it. If it's popular, I'm doing it. If it's not popular, I'm doing it. If people praise me, I'm doing it. If I get chastised, I'm doing it. If I get booed, I'm doing it. That's discipline. You can't build a business without that. Next slide.
Nutrients plus stress equals growth. Growth requires two things, nutrients and stress. Nutrients are the input, learning, reps, mentorship, rest, planning, and community. Stress is the pressure. Posting, pitching, selling, deadlines, rejections, and the pain of not being perfect yet. If you avoid stress, you avoid growth. Your next level lives in the uncomfortable zone.
Nutrients plus stress equals growth. You can't have one without the other. They have a symbiotic yin and yang relationship. Too much nutrients, what happens?
Plant dies.
Death. Any plant folks in here? Yep. Too much nutrients, death. Too much stress, death. But they make the beautiful combination. When they're merged together, you get growth. Josh.
What are some ways you work in an uncomfortable zone where the main discomfort and stress is nothingness and waiting? Because like I'm doing a documentary with a lot of moving parts, and I can't control how available some people are, but I have to make time for it suddenly. And I'm just like, I'm in a kind of a purgatory of like not being able to move as fast as I want.
Get comfortable in it. Find ways to enjoy it. Yeah. Get comfortable in it. Like that's when your self-talk can kick in. Remember, there's dead time and alive time. So if if you call it a purgatory, you just call it something a purgatory when it's just time. What could you do in that time that could add value to anything you're doing? Now it's beautiful time. Next slide.
Be ruthless with what trips you.
Okay, so we're gonna go a little NWA today. Because I like that word ruthless. I don't know if anybody has ever mixed NWA with the Bible, but we about to tonight.
Chris, you better come get him, Chris. You better come get him.
I'm out. So let's go.
Don't get me in trouble with Pastor Chris.
I promise I won't. I know Pastor
All right.
Chris is watching, so Pastor Chris, just give me a second.
1 Corinthians 9:27 shows the mindset of training, bringing your body and habits under control instead of letting them run you.
Okay, so there's two scriptures. I'm going to church a little bit. There's two scriptures I want to talk about. One scripture that came to mind is in our version of the Bible, me and Charlize's version of the Bible. It said, the term was, I pummel my body and lead it as a slave. That's what that's what it said. I pummel my body. So it made me feel like, man, that's ruthless. It's like you sometimes have to be ruthless to yourself. The Bible says that. How many Christians are up in here? How many Christians? Majority. So your Bible says this.
This guy.
Your Bible. Your Bible says you pummel your body and lead it as a slave, meaning we not doing that, we doing this. Even though I want to do it, man, get over here. Get your ass over here. That's what you're saying to yourself, right? There's a second scripture. Go ahead.
Matthews 5:29 through 30 teaches urgency. Remove what causes you to stumble in real life.
Okay. So that scripture, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but it's ruthless about discipline. It's ruthless about it. It says, maybe somebody can help me, but like, if my eye is making me stumble, it says tear it out.
Yep.
Not shit. It says tear it out. Go ahead, read it.
And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out.
Pluck it out. It's saying, I don't even care about your eye. If it's making you go left when you're supposed to go right, pluck it out. Go ahead.
And cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell.
You see what I'm saying? So that's ruthless. And sometimes we got to be ruthless with ourselves. Like if we go back to our nature, if we have a goal and we passionate about our goal and our purpose to be successful, to break our generational curses, to gain wealth, to be in the 1% of black entrepreneurs who make it at a grand level, then you know you're gonna have to go against your nature. I can't even access apps on this phone. I paid for a subscription to a software that prevents me from getting on any of the stuff. Why? Because sometimes I'm retarded. And I will find myself doing this. So a year ago, I said, man, I'm going to stop doing that. That's crazy. And then 3 days later, I caught myself doing it. I said, what are you doing? 3 days. All right. Pummel my body, lead it as a slave. Cut my eye off. How you gonna pause the Bible?
I told you that these pauses was gonna keep on coming now.
Wow.
It
Wow.
ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Kaja. No, Kaja, did I do that? Pastor Chris, for the record, I was not thinking any sort of bad way about this. It's these people, your people, whose internal desires could not get them out of that mindset and think business like I'm trying to get them to learn. Anyways. You guys get my point though, right? You get my point. So there may be certain things in your nature that's preventing you from moving forward or helping build that capacity. If it's a person you can't stay away from, that you know you need to stay away from in order for you to be successful, why ain't they blocked on your phone? Straight up. Why are you going there? Why are you hanging out with that person? Why are you going to this website? Why are you going to that thing? Why are you doing this? You know you're going to mess up. This entrepreneurship shit is so serious that sometimes you have to do what this says. Cut it off. Cut it out. And over time, a lot of times, you can heal with distance. Next slide.
Did you want me to not finish that one?
Oh, keep going. Yeah, no, keep going.
In real life, that means cutting off distractions, relationships, and patterns that keep you stuck, even if it feels uncomfortable.
Straight up. It feels uncomfortable to go to the gym. Man, get your ass in the car. That's going to build the discipline to do uncomfortable things. It's going to build the discipline. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like selling. What? Start being uncomfortable and start selling, trying it.
Can you speak to how that last sentence plays into feedback loops? My cutoff game is real good. Like if you get in a certain space with me, we go 100 to 0 real quick. But one could say that that's interrupting a feedback loop.
Absolutely. Feedback loops are always good. Never take a feedback loop bad. It's always good. Feedback loops are a gift to you, to everyone. If the worst thing you can hear from somebody is complete silence, you don't know. Have you ever done something for someone? Maybe you cooked for them and you put your foot in it. You really want somebody to like it. And you sit there and maybe you cook for them, you watch them eat it, and they got a stone look on their face. And you're like, what the fuck? Do you like it? Do you not like it? See, what's worse than bad feedback? No feedback at all. Because when you read into the context of feedback, you get a gift, you get a gem. If getting feedback trips you up, man, stand in that space. Stand in that space, and it'll get easier. It'll get better. The closest thing I can remind me to is when I started taking cold showers. Man, this is bullshit. I'm out. 1 second. It's no way humanly possible. I don't think black people built for it. Sorry. We tropical. We not. Our melanin just disagrees with this shit.
Sound like Nana. Sound just like Nana.
2 seconds. 3 seconds. I hate this shit. 4 seconds. 5 seconds. God damn it. Fuck. 6 seconds. 15 seconds. I hate it. 30 seconds. And just next you know, 2 minutes straight. 3 minutes straight. Some of y'all tripping out just hearing that. That's what it feels like whenever you have to do something like this. It's gonna feel like that.
Do it.
That's why I love hearing your voice, and I love that you hear. Because that's what it feels like. Nope, I'm gonna keep showing up. I hate it, but I'm gonna keep showing up. Don't feel good, I'm gonna keep showing up. Sorry, I'm gonna keep showing up. Until now it's manageable and maybe sometimes comfortable. And even sometimes you start enjoying it to the point to where you start looking forward to it I know it seems hella far-fetched, but it starts with 1 second, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Hey, yo, that's why I cold plunge. I hate the 3.5 minutes I'm in there, but then I'm like, my mental clarity, my body's ability to heal faster, and anytime I got to do some hard stuff, I'm like, bro, I just submerged myself in 39 degrees. Like, nothing seems hard to me, like, at all, because I'm like, if I can go and do that, or if I can go to a ring and get punched in the face, like, there's just so many things that I do that are hard because of like my practices of like martial arts or reading or working out or cold plunging, that it makes all of the little things seem so irrelevant because I'm so used to running into friction on purpose.
That's right.
So, I don't know. Last year, Shakina had gotten very into cold things, right? This is before she remodeled her gym and put the thing in there. But she was very into cold things, right? She was like a cold evangelist. She was like, go, like, do the cold stuff, right? She was very into it. So I did something to my back. She's like, you need to go to this place. Her and Shamara was like very pro cold, and I was definitely too tropical for that. So they was like, go do the cold plunge. So there's a place in Dublin, and I call it the freezer. So you go in and they have you wrap up and you wear shorts, and they'll play whatever music you want. And so you go in there for, I don't know, it's like 3 minutes or something like that. And so I said, Tino, you got to come with me because you my friend. And she was like, I'm not going to no damn freezer. So we go into this freezer, and it's real, and I mean it looks crazy, and it's a freezer. And so the man is like, okay, he's gonna play whatever song. So we in there, and I'm just dancing around. I'm trying, like, taking my mind off of it. She is hot as fish grease. She is so mad, and she's like, don't ask me for nothing. I don't want to hear nothing all year. This is ridiculous. She was so pissed at me that I was crying. But after there's a sauna, but Shakina, I mean, I avoid her cold plunge at the gym. I avoid that. But I did, when she was like pro cold, I did do it, and it actually did help a lot. So just to give her props, she's been trying to convert everybody to this cold life. It is beneficial after you cuss.
For sure.
First two.
All right, let's go to the next slide. Last slide.
Go sell something today.
Ooh, I made it to the end. Go ahead.
Fear is the internal alarm that goes off when you step towards growth. So it isn't proof you're wrong. It's usually proof you're early. Most people aren't afraid because they can't do it. They're afraid of what it might cost: rejection, embarrassment, failing in public, or finding out they're not as good as they'd hoped yet. But fear is a terrible leader. It will always vote for comfort, and comfort will keep you stuck. The goal isn't to stop feeling fear. It's to move with fear in the passenger seat while discipline drives. Oh, that's good. Clock it. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll stay parked. The fastest way to shrink fear is to take action, get reps, and let experience replace imagination.
Come on.
Yes. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll stay parked. The fastest way to shrink fear is to take action, get reps, and let experience replace imagination.
Okay, so go get scarred up. Go get scarred up. I want to see knuckles bruised, scratches, black eyes, busted lips. If you're not doing any of that, you're playing scary. And entrepreneurship cannot hold you. You won't succeed. You won't grow. And it's brilliant people in this class. And I just want to say, like, I've had, again, another privilege to be here and give you guys the game that I have all year. and go. None of it matters if you don't go do something. None of it matters if you don't go do something. We've wasted our breath if you don't go do something. Go sell something. Make some shit happen. Fail. Fuck up. Do it. Do it. Fail. Try something. It didn't work. Cool. But y'all, some of y'all ain't got enough scars. I can tell. I can tell some of y'all is too scary because I can look at you and you don't got enough scars. You playing too cool. I don't got no superpowers as an entrepreneur. But if I can say I had one, it would be I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I don't care. I don't care if I fail and people see. I don't care. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Do it again. Because I know how fickle human beings are. They'll cheer for you today and boo you tomorrow. Don't even go home. They'll yay, boo in the same chair. So I know people are fickle. So I don't give a shit. I'm running my own race. Have you ever been like deemed last or to fail or people slept on you, and have anybody thought that about you, and then over time you killed that notion because you were successful at something? Then that's how you move now. And it's not about showing the world, posting, hey, I'm entrepreneuring today, Instagram, just want to show y'all I'm entrepreneuring. No, it's you get quiet. You get quiet. You focus and you pull your tools out. You look at your cards. You figure out where your privilege is. You come up with strategy. And you start selling something. Doesn't have to start huge. Go out with a taco stand, with a table. Court Smith, multi-million-dollar company, started as a table inside a gym. No, before that, it started out, meet me at 24 Hour Fitness and I'll sell you a couple t-shirts. Bayfair 24, meet me. $30. $300 invest. Like, think you start small. If you want to have a big production company, start taking small pictures. If you want to have a big clothing line, start selling one shirt. If you want a big marketing company, start perfecting Instagram, but do something small and do it now. Don't let the year go by. I don't want to come back next year because it's the last class. I don't want to come back next year and you ain't started nothing. All right, go ahead.
Say something. I think this is a testament to hope. And don't get me wrong. Yes, do things on your own. But I think one of the many good things about hope and everybody in hope is like the community that we do have, where it makes me feel comfortable to fail with my peers or around my peers. So when you had said, like, go out there and just try, I think this is like a testament to like Jasadi, Jeff, even Lise. Like, I'll try stuff and I'll be like, Jasadi, just come with me, and I'll fail, but I don't feel as bad because the person in my community is like telling me, all right, Tone, well, this is how you can be better next time. Like, that person not putting me down, because it can be lonely and scary when you fail in the outside world without these folks around, because people are like, oh, you supposed to be this, they look down on you, right? But I feel so good when I do fail around these cats, because they lift me back up, and not in an egotistical way, but like real talk. Like, me and Jeff might be doing something, and I'll mess up on some lighting, and Jeff would be like, all right, Tone, so you see that didn't look good, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, man, my bad. He'd be like, all right, well, let's do it this way next time. Or even Jasadi, I'll try to play this whole, we did a video one time and I didn't know what I was doing and it could have went left, and to me, I did fail. I did. And he was like, next time it's cool, but like, it's okay. We'll just try it again and I'm here for you. So what I'm saying is, like, that's why I think this class or this community is so important, because we get to lean on one another even when we do fail. And it's okay to keep going out there and failing, because we're gonna have each other's back no matter what. So
That is true. Peace.
Yo, Tony, that was actually dope. That was actually the hella dope. You'll be surprised. I was gonna say this statement to the end of the class. Hold on. Make sure I get this. Yeah, let's say it. Stories create identity. Identity shapes your decisions. And you know what oppression does? Narrows your story. And that's why it's like being in an environment that can help you change the story is underestimated. But just remember that like most of your lives that you have right now is some story you're telling yourself. And if you change the story, you start changing the decisions you make. And once you change the decisions you make, you change the outcome. So a lot of times, especially if you're one of those people to say, why is shit always happening to me? Here's that voice that you don't want to hear. It's you, dog. It's you. So, you use a bottle opener for that. Yeah, it's even I'm not that strong, you know. So anyway, hey. Okay, so let me say something real quick. Next year's gonna be very different. Let me just announce a couple of things, a couple of highlights. One, next year is gonna be about doing exercises together. We're gonna work on people's different projects in class. So if you have different projects, we're gonna work on them. We're gonna actually bring your projects to the forefront and work on them as a team. We're gonna bring AI into the class. Yes. So we're gonna show you how to use AI to enhance this and improve your business. AI has so many tools. So a lot of exercises will include AI. I'm gonna teach you how to create your personal assistant. AI really can be your personal assistant, but many of us are using it in a poor way where it's a reference tool. Also with AI, what I discovered, one of the reasons a lot of people don't use AI, because I get a lot of questions from people throughout the week, I'm thinking that's an AI question, is because we have pattern dependency. We get used to doing something a certain kind of way, so we get used to calling somebody like, hey man, how you solve this problem? Why are you calling me? We're not in that world no more. AI, Court was highlighted this dope example of how he used AI to manage his emotions. So when he's about to send an email and he's very upset, he runs it through AI, communicates to AI where he's at and what state of mind, and AI helps him communicate it correctly while achieving the same goal. I would almost argue that we're at a huge turning point in human history where we use reading and writing and math as separators of status, right? So if I say you're stupid, that automatically implies I'm smarter, better, higher status. Well, AI is about to remove that whole conversation. And you know, I don't know about you guys. Have you ever brought some real estate before? But you guys seen a real estate calculator, right? Now, if you don't know how to use it, it's just confusing as hell. And if you try to punch in some basic math, it don't work, right? That calculator is thinking on a whole different level. Well, AI is designed where you can just ask the question, and AI will translate the question into an answer that you need to hear to address the problem and solve the needs. Even you don't know what question to ask, you could literally say, "Here's my situation." And what AI is not the answer. AI is great clues to a smart investigation. If you write it that way, you'll find out, because one of the reasons I have a healthy relationship with AI is because all the hours of research and time I put into these particular fields, I'm able to see when it's hallucinating or when it's missing variables. But if you don't have a certain amount of ownership, AI doesn't replace ownership, but it becomes a hell of assistant. A hell of assistant. A lot of times, sometimes I'm sitting up on a weekend, I may just have some questions about certain things. And it used to be a time that I'm like, okay, well, I got to find me a book on that. And I start with AI just to start the process of what book to look. A lot of times I use AI to start the conversation. Then when we finish, oh yeah, give me those books that you reference. So there's just, because once again, it's a statistics machine. It's not a it's not a human being in there thinking for you. So you have to know that it's strong in certain areas and weak in other areas. But we're going to bring it into the class. But we're going to make this class more of a workshop, a back and forth. It's going to be private. It's not going to be online for everybody. We'll just release certain small clips. The goal is to normalize and integrate this information to the point that you're not just expressing it in circles to be impressive. It's how you think now. So when people pull me aside and they have questions with me about business, my brain moves so fast from teaching this class that I'm able to put together combinations really, 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 really quick. And what helps me outside of teaching this class move really quick is it's also how I eat. So Fighting Media is a strategic organization. We make most of our money now from strategy. We moved away from art as a branch. Like marketing is not really about ads and marketing material is just a branch of marketing. Marketing is more strategical. So I'm in rooms with, I'm rarely ever in a room with somebody that's not extremely highly educated. And to be in that room and to play with abstract ideas to produce a concrete solution, you have to have a certain degree of ownership. So we're going to turn this class into a space where we get to play with these ideas so you can see where you have a distortion around your perception. Because here's the thing, truth is local. So no one in this class is being judged as stronger or weaker. Truth is local. And what you discover is that when you communicate an idea, your insight, your knowledge, your truth around that idea is yours. It's not necessarily the person that you're communicating to. And so I want to move us away from us being the most impressive people in the room to us doing the most impressive shit in the room. Big fucking difference. And so I'm going to bring a lot of our challenges to the table, but you're going to feel more, instead of you feeling a space of shame and being attacked, you're going to feel love and nudging. And that's the goal here. All right. So everything's going to change. Pay structure, cameras off. Well, cameras for people. We still will have streaming for students, but not for the outside public. And then we're going to have small quizzes because we want to see how you guys are processing the information. Because once again, I've heard some conversations numerous times where people are throwing these words together so beautiful in a soliloquy. And in the end, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you just said. They even quote I said it. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sure I didn't say that. So let's go to this next slide real quick. Before you read it, let me say something. This was inspired by Shakina.
Oh.
Shakina. So Shabisha gave me this amazing podcast from these two black women, and one woman was one of the top 30 black businesses that was supposed. Somebody give me a napkin. Get rid of this peppermint gum. I'm talking with like a lisp and all kind of stuff. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna give the man no gum. I'm a man, bro. You gonna pause me with no shit like that. Took some shit out my mouth and gave it to you. Pause. I'm not doing that.
He was trying to be of service, Nana.
Nah, ain't that kind of service in my life. We good. I love you, boy, but we ain't doing that. I don't want my daughter to see this tape years when she's growing up. Like, Dad, what were you thinking? I mean, anyway, so Shabisha gave me this dope podcast. It was two black women. There's one black woman. She was voted one of the top 30 black businesses in United to actually arrive in the United States and during the George Floyd era. She's one of the top 30. Nationwide known. Her business failed. And she talked to a black woman from Britain who her business is still going strong. And she interviewed her the way I would interview somebody in private. It was so cold. But what the woman was doing, she was transparent about why her business failed. So Shakina really couldn't sit in her seat because she listened to a podcast and she wanted, like, hey, anybody else want to talk about this? But obviously it fell on some different ears. Deaf ears. There you go. And so, but she wanted to, and then one thing she says, how come you haven't taught finance? I said, actually, I taught it the whole year. So now let me explain. Let's read the first slide.
Why math won't save your money, but your mind will. Understanding the psychology of wealth building, a conversation about healing our relationship with money.
Now, we're going to get into a real discussion of how and what holds you back. And this is everything I'm going to teach in this class, I personally went through. Man, it took me 3 years to invest, even though I had the money to invest, because I had this deep down issue with risk with my money. I can take risk on most all day long, but to put my money in risk after I came from poverty, and then even when I would read the material, I'm reading the details, but my emotions are over here. And to watch me move with money to the point that I had more subtle hustle mentality that came from the streets in my mind when I was trying to move business and when I'm trying to have a relationship with capitalism. And you got to break that hustle mindset. So let's get into it so I can show you where this, and you're going to hear a lot of shit. And at some point I'm going to say, raise your hand if this applies to you, because I'm going to show you how this shit is just so deeply integrated into our experience, coming from urban life, coming from poor communities, coming from black communities, coming from deprived communities, all these coming from a generation of people being deprived. Let's say you're the first or second generation who's making money. All this stuff is it's going to bubble up really fast. So next slide.
Money is not a math problem.
Now, this is the trick. Everybody thinks money is a math problem. This is what, when Shakina said, how come we not learning about these things? You can feel the implication of how come we not learning these mathematical techniques with money. By the way, you ever sit in a meeting with somebody's trying to do, I sat in a meeting with folks who don't have no money and they try to get mathematical, but there's no money on the table. You guys ever been on those meetings before? Okay, I've been there. I probably guess it's only me. Anyway, let's jump into it.
If money were just math.
Is her microphone up or is it loud enough or something? Okay, because I don't hear it well and I need to hear this.
If money were just math, everybody who can add, subtract, multiply, and divide would be wealthy.
Pause right there. If money was just math, outside of telling Vic, everybody should be wealthy. I got to get you, baby. Let me take that out your mouth. Pause. Go next one.
Hey, yo.
Go ahead.
I'm out. Think about it. Most of us learn basic math by age 10.
Mm-hmm.
So why do so many of us still struggle with money decades later?
Mm-hmm.
Because money is human behavior, not arithmetic.
Mm-hmm.
The real issue, we don't have math problem. We have a psychology problem.
So remember a long time ago, people say, oh, this, your class, it's kind of a psychology class. It's not really business. What the fuck you think business is? Right? They thought business is some kind of mathematical process and spreadsheets and these abstract techniques, and no, it's a psychological problem. I'm going to prove that this evening. Next slide.
Dieting and money work the same way.
Oh, by the way, this shit's cold. And this is another gym analogy that shows you why when we say go to the gym, there's so many hidden lessons in this shit that ties to your money because you're fighting this. You ever feel like how many of you guys ever washed dishes but didn't wash the pans? Okay. Doesn't something in your brain why does my brain want to stop me when the pans? I'm washing dishes and look at this pan. Oh, shit, that's enough for the time. Goddamn, right? It's 12 noon. It ain't enough for the day, but it's 12 noon. But your brain always said, should I wash the forks, the cups, the plates? That's slavery over there. Right?
She can do it.
When you have a relationship with money, there's this wall in your brain that goes, fuck, what? Come on, man. Right? let's get into this. Talk about dieting.
Think about dieting. People don't struggle because they can't count calories.
Uh-oh.
They struggle because of habits built over years,
Real.
stress eating patterns,
Real.
emotional triggers,
Real.
environment and access,
Real.
reward loops, and comfort.
So if I tell you right now, just go save money. Just go invest your money. It's just really easy. Just like I was saying, just lose some weight. Just eat different. What? I told you nothing besides shame. Matter of fact, I make it where you just don't want to see me no more. Like, God, this cat gonna see I ain't been eating right. Keep going.
Money is identical. The same forces that make dieting hard make financial discipline hard. Budgeting is easy. Sticking to a budget is psychological.
See, money and growing money is sticking to something for a long time. Remember last week we talked about loser archetype versus winner archetype? Remember I said a loser archetype is short. They think in a short term, and a winner archetype thinks in a long term, right? Okay. So money is a winner's archetype. You got to be able to think long term, make long term decisions, make long term plays, take long term risk. But that's very difficult for somebody who's framed the world from a loser's perspective. Now, if you watch last week's class, I told you I was priming you for this week's class. Next slide.
Why math alone fails. People do not fail financially because the spreadsheet was wrong.
Now that was Brother Court who just preached that message. Go ahead.
They miscalculated.
You got calculators these days, cell phones. That's not the problem. Go ahead.
They didn't understand interest rates.
Easy to learn. Keep going.
People fail because they made emotional purchases. Avoided hard conversations. Feared risk of judgment. Didn't.
Hey, but tell me, when you get to this list, I want to see, would you raise your hand and tell me if any of these have impacted you? Go ahead.
All of them. Didn't ask questions. Tried to look successful.
Uh-oh. Black people in Oakland. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on.
Were triggered. Self-sabotaged. Acted from impulse or shame. Believed wealth isn't for us.
So I gotta look the part player.
Lived in scarcity mode.
But raise your hand if that has impacted any of you. Okay, I don't think there's a lowered hand to the kids. That's my point. This is a behavior challenge. This is not oh my God, you know what? I didn't pay attention to interest rates. When I looked at them, I just calculated incorrectly, and oh my God, my life is destroyed because I didn't analyze my interest rates. Or, I told Shakina to help me with that spreadsheet. Shakina with numbers. Ooh. It was just off, and that's why my life is messed up. No, the right side is the challenge. And ask me, have we not taught this within the last 2 or 3 years? See anything on that list you think I have never taught? I just want you guys to show that it's baked in the class. It's just that we in our brains, we divided the two, and they shouldn't be divided. They're one and the same. Next slide.
The real battle is inside the mind. Every financial decision is shaped by emotional state, childhood conditioning, trauma triggers, stress levels, self-worth, identity, worker versus builder, fear of judgment, cultural norms, and survival thinking.
So let me go over real quick. Identity versus worker versus builders. I'm going to get at the end of the slide, I'm going to show you the difference between the mindset. But when you're a worker, your relationship to money is totally different than when you're a builder. I'll give you one simple example. A worker sees hourly, a builder sees value.
Investment, yeah.
And these are things that when you were designed to be the labor of society and you have moved to that labor channel your whole life, then I said labor channel, but the labor channel your whole life, then in a sense, the way that you see money is still, even though you may even have money, is still the framework under a worker's mindset. But emotional state, meaning that we talked about emotional intelligence. Court taught a whole year emotional intelligence. You know why we talked about emotional intelligence? It directly ties to your money. It directly ties. It's not indirectly. It directly ties to your money. Childhood conditioning. We talked about family and childhood. We talk about childhood all the time. The conditioning, stories you tell yourself, and being able to change your narratives, that's directly impacting your money. Trauma triggers mean that if you don't practice the forgiveness thing and how to let things go and change the narrative, then your trauma is still present today as if it was the day it happened, right? That means that trauma is still economically controlling you. Stress levels. If you haven't figured out how to manage your stress level, how to bring that anger down, right versus wrong, all these different things we discussed. Remember I used to say, Cordes teach you guys more about business than I'm going to teach you about business. I'm going to teach you formulas, but a lot of things he's teaching you is actually preparing you to actually play the game. Self-worth. How many times I've said the thing we struggle with the most is, are we good enough? Right? I talked about, when you're in with me and you're discussing your business, do not put your personal value on trial. We're only discussing a problem, not you. Once you start saying, well, I feel like you are telling me I am, I didn't tell you shit about yourself. I don't know anything about yourself. We're discussing this is a bad idea. Not that you made a bad idea, which makes you a bad person. That's how you hear it, right? Fear of judgment. Tone just highlighted that. Fear of judgment. He laid that out so pretty for you guys. I refuse to even add to it. It was so well said by Tone Vic. Cultural norms. How do black people move with money? You gotta have. Like, how many young men in this room knew that when you became a certain age, man, you couldn't drive a Honda Civic. You had to drive a bigger car because men kind of went with the kind of car you drove. You had to have a nicer car. You couldn't have a Volkswagen Bug because as a man, I don't feel right. That's a cultural norm. I got cats on my team and the cats I work with. Some of these cats will pull up in a Prius on you in the midnight. I think Prius is funny. Yes, I do laugh, but it's not the point. I do laugh. I'm sorry. It's just the culture. I'm gonna use that culture to my, it's a privilege. But the point is this. But I respect the fuck out of them, right? Because they don't have those. If you're doing this, you should be driving this. If you're doing this, you should be wearing this. If you're playing this, you should have this possession, right? And then survival thinking is destroying your calculations, your relationship to the whole resources. Read the last line.
The truth. You don't spend money. Your psychology spends money.
Read that one more time because I think Tone was asleep. Read that one more time.
The truth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't spend money. Your psychology spends money.
Next slide. Go ahead. Ask a question. Go ahead. Yeah, so you don't. So when a lot of times you think, I just want to buy this. I just want to buy that, right? And what it's saying is that all the different things that make up your psychology is impacting your relationship to money. It's not a pure like, oh, I just wanted to buy that. People, okay. Remember we said a lot of times you will make an emotional decision, but then you'll create a great narrative to make it sound rational on the back end, but it was really just an emotional decision. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when you say, I just want to buy that, or I deserve that, right? That's the narrative you told yourself from psychologically being triggered on this breakdown that's happening on the inside because of your distorted narratives that's causing you to make poor decisions, but then you tell beautiful stories on the back end. For example, let's just say the parent going, I'm doing all this to take care of my family. No, you're not. You're doing all this because you're trying to avoid poverty because you have fear of scarcity again. Let's just be real. So now you're going to work your ass off and you're going to really deprive your relationship with your family, but it's not about your family. It's really about, I fear being broke. So if you can't see the psychological story that's happening inside of you because you convince yourself the narrative you made up is your psychology, this is why you're ignorant to your own flaws. Not that you're ignorant. Let's be very clear. You're ignorant to yourself. Like, that's what kills me about how we are out here trying to analyze everybody in the world, and the biggest mystery is ourselves. All this time we spend around going, what, I want to tell you what Tone should have did in this house, right? I want to tell you what Kaja should have did in her house. No, you need to figure out what you're going to do in your house. Like, I sometimes when people can start talking about Donald Trump too long, I'm like, okay, this person's escaping themselves. How the fuck you worry about somebody? What were you gonna do? I'm mad because he gonna send somebody to L.A. Oh, okay. What you gonna do? I'm just mad. Okay, so what are you avoiding now? Anyway, let's go. Go ahead, Charlize. Pass the microphone. Gisati. Oh, Gisati's on the mic. Okay, he's on the headset. Well, just throw it up. Somebody pass the microphone. Yeah, you take it. Yeah. There look. It's that wall, right? It's that wall, right? Y'all go to that wall. Go ahead, Charlize. Yeah.
I wanted to, expand upon this idea. So in the sense of like, you don't spend money, your psychology spend money, isn't a downfall of that is why people start to hoard the things that they spend on?
We're going to get there.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get there.
Never mind.
Because I'm going to show you that.
Ahead.
Now, I'm going to show you this a formula.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the next one. Next slide. No, but we did that one? We finished that one, right? Yeah, okay, go ahead. Okay, let's go jump into the next one.
The historical conditioning we inherited. Generational experiences in Black America created predictable money behaviors. Slavery, dependency, and punishment for autonomy.
So, remember I told you this class is about slavery, Jim Crow, and the crack era, and how that's economically whooping our ass. Here's being laid out in clear, basic. Now you can see, like, if you had to, why does he keep talking about slavery, Jim Crow, and the crack era? This is impact because what it's done is it's changed our cultural ideologies, our cultural language, our cultural norms. And this is, so going to start for slavery again. Created what?
Slavery created dependency and punishment for autonomy.
So you want to do some shit for yourself? You get killed for that, right? Dependency. You know, if white people just, today we still saying, if they just, that's dependency, bro. Fuck you mean white people just. If they just open the door, fuck them, stop. Look, dope, okay, let me speak East Oakland. Dope dealers didn't go to white communities and make hella money. Let me say it again. And they lived in the poorest part of black communities and were making cash. You don't even, if you just that uncomfortable around other races just to warm yourself up, you could do well on your own. Now, mind you, let me be very clear. There is no such thing as all people, nobody. There's no all white people, all black people, all Asian people, there's no such thing like that, right? Like, that's white liberal people talking some stupid shit that's an oxymoron. You can't say all people nothing, right? Y'all know in black community, there's Tone Vicks and there's my hood family. They're not even close. And if you came to their door at nighttime, it's different responses. One's gonna rob you or shoot you, and one's gonna say, excuse me, what are you doing here? Right? But even come out and have a long ass conversation, bring a snack outside, right? That's Tone, right? So the reality is that what we don't realize that, so if you're in business, okay, so there's a certain amount of people that don't fuck with you. Have you thought about all the people that will fuck with you? Huh? Anybody? Nobody, huh? Ask hip hop artists where they go in and they turn the camera around and everybody white. Ask them. They talking about, hey, dude, I don't give a fuck. Black people, white people ain't shit. I don't give a shit. And white people like, this is my shit. And you say, nah, they'll never buy my product. Or bought theirs. So dependency and autonomy is distorted the game. Next one.
Jim Crow, distrust of financial systems.
Man, I don't be fucking with these banks, man. I ain't be fucking with this investment company. I don't fuck with the market. It's crime. I don't even know if I trust capitalism like that. Y'all heard that before? I know it's just not me, right? Next one.
Crack era, survival-based thinking and instability.
So if you went through the crack era, you went through some shit. Let me be very clear. Just because you can smile today like Tone Vic and be happy, Tone Vic went through some shit. If Tone ever gets close with you, he'll share some story with you. You'll be like, as nice as he is, he's the next closest. Like if Santa Claus gets fired tomorrow, Tone's got a job, right? Like just straight up, nicest cat in the motherfucking world, right? But the reality is that he's been through some shit. So the reality is that that survival-based thinking is, even though we learn to smile and move, it doesn't mean that it doesn't fuck with our way that we interact with money.
Hey, that's what you get for pausing me all them times. My boy had my back. He lighten your ass up.
And then when you're in a world where instability, if you went to the crack era, shit was unstable as hell. I mean, things would just fall. Do any of y'all remember? Okay, even if you didn't go through the crack era and you have a crack era parent, you was raised by instability standards. Mm-hmm. Meaning you might not even went through it, but their fears became your norm. Their discomforts became your norm. Their relationship to money became your norm. So you don't get to say, well, I didn't go through the crack era because I'm 23. Fuck you, first of all. But number two, you still are impacted by it. All right, let's keep going. Oh, goddamn, girl. You started acting like Jasadi. Go ahead, Kaja.
So what you just said about the crack era makes me think back to growing up. So during crack, I was still living in New York, so we lived in the projects of the South Bronx. So it was crack with a capital C. Mm-hmm. And my mom had a good job. She worked for IBM at the time.
That was good back then.
That was good back in the day,
That was
right?
a big time job.
So my mother was able to use money to insulate us. We were living in proximity to it, but I don't really have those crackish memories because we were insulated. Right? Because we're insulated from it. And so when you just said this, it made me think about now, right? My ability to use money to insulate myself from certain situations, but is that a bad thing if you can create?
It's a cost because we're not separate from culture. And if we have to insulate ourselves from culture, which is a traumatic response to cultures going bad, there's losses that you don't even know you're taking. Like when we taught the family class a few weeks back and showing the importance of family, what came out of that class is people didn't realize the losses they took, they didn't know existed. So, for example, I went to a party up in Oakland Hills because I put my daughter in a private school, so all these parents got resources, right? And I'm first generation resources. Behind me, there's no resources, right? My father had dope dealer resources, but that ain't. Let's be very clear. That's different resource. That's instability. So, and his brand don't mean much, right? Unless I'm fighting on the streets. During those months of his life, after he dies, the next generation don't give a shit, right? Right, because streets have a different timeline. So I'm up there, and I'm watching the inheritance of family. Meaning that one person may say, I have a problem. And the amount of people and resources they had access to and the brand value, meaning that if Kaja went out and had a certain name attached to her, all of a sudden you're getting opportunities when the other people, it's a privilege. Literally, you're getting opportunities that other people will be, they put in applications, they're knocking on doors, they're typing all night long, and you just show with any paperwork and you got the job because you're connected to this family, right? There was a time, I don't know how old you are, but I came from the era, how much? 55? Oh, 50. Oh. Hey, y'all, you can tell I fucked up because she went from a small. She went to straight NWA. Like, I got that. Man, look, I'm sorry, Kai. I was trying to hear. I got bad hearing. I'm 58, so my hearing's bad. Woo, shit, my life passed in front of my eyes. Look, I almost ran out of here and left y'all by yourself. But look, so you missed it. You might have been around. When I say missed it, you were so young when this was happening. But when I was 7, 8, 9, all you heard was, what's the person's last name? Mm-hmm. And that last name meant how you're going to be received. So your family last name actually primed your experience in society. Those of us who went to the crack era, we lost all that shit, got devastated. So we're literally building from scratch, and some of us are not even building anymore because we're like, I don't trust this family shit. I don't even feel it like that. So, and even the need and the value and how family serves the next generation and how we're all part of a continuum is gone out of our minds because we came to that traumatic area where you were in a really rich community where there was hella mamas and aunties and things were happening and people were showing up all these different accomplishments and everybody's invested in you, and even you got a business community gets behind you, we'd be like, oh shit. And this is happening still in other communities, but many of us lost that shit. So it's a lot of shit that we lost that hasn't been surfaced in conversation, and no one's talking about it because we're all victim. We're in a crowd of people that's all victimized by the same thing. So nobody's saying, "Hey, this family thing is the most important thing we got." It's almost came down to like, I'm the most important thing I have, and that story in itself is a crack accelerated story. Doesn't say it wasn't here because it started in the '60s with there was a white movement called the Me movement that kind of, not the Me like the Me Too, the Me movement, me over everything, but it got, for our community, it became more solidified because of crack. Go ahead, Shkina. These shaped money beliefs like
cash is king, keep it on you.
Just pause. Y'all heard that phrase, cash is king? Wrong. I grew up with that. I believe that shit like my heart. Wrong. It's absolutely wrong. You know what? You know what you're saying? What you saying when you say cash is king? Why? Huh? If the economy falls, the cash ain't gonna do shit anyway. You ever think about that? If the economy fall, you be like, I got $100. Motherfucker, ain't nobody taking no $100 no more. Economy's collapsed. So why is cash king? And also too, when you keep cash on you, what's happened to your cash?
Depreciation.
At a crazy
Quick.
ass rate. Especially in the last 5 or 10 years, you'd be like, God damn.
You better let that
Right?
pound.
Number two is that also you're out of this, once again, going back to what Kasha highlighted, you're outside the system of cash growth. See, cash king is a certain mindset that fits a certain type of poor relationship with the money industry. When you come to this other side, bruh, let me see. If I had to be just on an average, I'm making about $9,000 a month in investments. I'm not doing shit for it. It's just $9,000 going hit my bank account, and most of that is conservative. Now, if I went a higher barbell effect, which I get into next year, and I went more and put a little bit more risk, y'all would be like, this is how Sway? Who gives you that kind of money? When you learn how to use your money and work your money, life changes so cold. But the reason you can't, I can teach you the concepts. The problem is when it's time to actually execute those moves, your past is going to kill you. Next one.
Don't trust banks.
We all heard that one. Keep next one.
If you got it, spend it.
Y'all heard that one, right? Like, there's a whole generation of people buying Louis Vuitton and Birkin bags. What? Okay, black people. I'm not saying that it's wrong to have a Louis Vuitton here and there. I'm not gonna do that, because sometimes if it gives you that emotional value. Matter of fact, there's an argument that says the cheapest thing you can ever buy is a big screen TV. Right? You know why? Because how many hours are you going to use that TV? Now calculate that time into the amount of hours you use it. Going to the movies is way more expensive than a big screen TV. But if you look at your relationship with time and money changes, you'll know when it's a good investment, bad investment, because your relationship with time and money changes. Next one.
I have to look successful.
Fake it till you make it. I gotta look fly. Most black people are some of the best dressed people in offices. Am I lying? Tell me I'm lying. If somebody can just say, hey, I ain't never seen that shit before. Because I did it. Everything on this list I did. I'm going to be very clear. No, I'm not coming from the space of high and mighty. I'm coming from a space of growth. And this is all the shit that was my foundation. This is the ground I started growing out of. Keep going.
I take care of everybody.
Y'all get money. And it's matter of fact, you might not say that exact statement, but when people call you, your guilt level be like, okay, all right, fine. How much you need? I've told almost every family member no. No, I told one auntie, auntie, I know you taught me how to drive, and I love you to death. But if you borrow this money, this can really ruin us, because you ain't never been good with money. So why you think I'm be good at my money? right? It's like if you're really good with money, or if I do loan you money, I'm really giving it to you. I know you trash. You're not gonna give it back. So if I can't give it away, I probably won't loan it to you. Go ahead.
We don't talk about money.
Have you ever went to any black community, any place, and talked about real money with anybody? Ain't nobody talking about money. I don't remember. Have y'all been any place where people just sit around and talk about money, their personal money?
Nope.
Josh, we're not talking about the Jewish experience. Huh? Oh, explain to me how it's a little different. Grab the microphone, because I haven't experienced it, so I'm really coming from a space of curiosity.
My mom used to say that all the time because back then it was disrespectful to talk to grandma or moms about how much money they made. They didn't talk about money. But I do feel like this generation that we're living in now is a little bit different. I talk about money to a lot of us. I really do feel like the generation now is a little different than back in the days. I think people talk about it a little bit more openly.
The reason it seems like that might be a anecdotal experience is because the reason I see a lot of people won't talk about money because their status is tied to the perception that they have more money, right? Otherwise, how many people dress like their bank account in the black community? Okay, so next one is?
Wealth is for other people.
Now, this is one you feel deep down inside, black people. When y'all see really, really, like, have you guys ever drove through like Piedmont Hills?
Bay Farm.
Bay Farm. Okay, go ahead. Don't do it. Don't do it. Palo Alto. And or you drove to like certain areas, really rich areas, and your brain, you thought this ain't really for us. Somebody can make it up here, but it ain't really for us. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. Go ahead.
These are not intellectual errors. They are psychological survival codes.
Say this again. These are not intellectual errors. These are survival codes. So crack error normalized everything you saw on that list. It's a survival code. Like we have ways we've been surviving this long and being able to cope with what the hell so we learn how to get used to less and be cool with it. I'm not saying to become greedy and hungry for money to the point that's all you can think about is money, money, money. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting, well, sure, I got more than them. I'm good. Yeah, you don't even have no employees. You working your ass to death, as opposed to I'm really trying to have impact with what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to grow this to have impact. And if it takes me to 10 employees or 100 employees, 1,000 employees, I don't really care. As opposed to you kind of accepting that you're not a part of this possibility, not this group, this possibility. This is baked deep. This is not your surface thought. This is deeper in our cultural feeling. And you should be able to feel it when you're in a certain area. Like if you got your car in a rich neighborhood, do you got your car and go, oh, they're going to be, oh, hi, Nate, hi. I just start my car here just to, get out, walk, stretch my legs a little bit. If you black, you'd be thinking, I wonder what the fuck they thinking about me right now. Now, if you stop in a normal neighborhood in Oakland, you don't think like that. Mm-hmm. There is this deeper story that we're telling ourselves, and we got to get in touch with that story. Otherwise, when you walk in the room, okay, a long time ago when Shabisha came to work for me, this is old Shabisha, she was complaining about white privilege, and I got mad. I said, don't do that shit in my office again. Because that white privilege translates to now you're in negotiation with some white people, and you're shrinking yourself. I need you to raise yourself up and whoop that ass. Not look at somebody's skin color and lose that battle. So if you feel some kind of way, it's translating to habits, decisions, routines, investment, risk management, all those are variable. Oh, turn your microphone on. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Wealth is for other people. And you made the example about like going through some of these neighborhoods. I remember sometimes being in neighborhoods of the peninsula. I wouldn't say I had that thought, but like I'm thinking through it as I'm talking. The relationship between that sentence and the culture. I remember thinking, even if I had the money to live over here, I wouldn't want to, because a lot of the black people I know that live there in the new political environment, now they're in mixed company and they don't want to be there.
But that's exactly the same thing. That's perfect. Like what you're feeling is, it's the same thing. It's just a different narrative on the same acceptance of a difference, as opposed to if that was just another house to move into for you, and you had the resources, choices, as opposed to your brain kind of creating a narrative to say, it's matter of fact, it's very popular too. A lot of us think that the idea of wealth is separation. When in a healthy culture, if you look at the history of like when white people had this big gap economic, because it was white people were not like this. It's always been a big gap. But if you go back to old entrepreneurs, when they made money, they became the coldest philanthropists you've ever seen. They really invested in systems to grow wealth in their community as a whole, right? So wealth could be an enabler for us to improve our community. Now, of course, the community don't get to judge how you should move, because community always has an answer that, oh, you should, and you cannot. If you did all those shoulds, you'd be broke tomorrow. But the reality is that a lot of people I know who are really, really well off are some of the most pro-black people I've ever met in my life, and they're spending money, time, energy, planning, working on systems, building shit to give black people opportunities. It's just that they can't lift the boat by themselves. The community has to kind of move themselves, and they can participate in enhancing the process. But no rich person can lift a community by themselves. I don't care what community it is, right? So there's a lot of distortions with our relationship to money in that space that's highlighted in that storytelling. But that's also one of those variations that I think, because like I say, you have different experiences, so you have a slight different variation, but it's still impacted by the same type of limiting beliefs that's subtle. You know what I mean? So it's just built, it's so baked in that we normalize it that we don't feel like it's limiting, but don't realize that if you actually pay attention to it, it's kind of creating a limitation for you. Did you have something to say, Shabish, before we keep moving?
I'm saying something you've already said, but just to kind of share my own experience, right? Many of us are in school, going to school, wanting to go to school, right? You come in here every week, and maybe you go to apply some of these things. You can't figure out why you can't apply it, right? It's like year 1, year 2, year 3, like, what am I missing? A large part of what we're missing is on this page, but we don't look there. And so I think, honestly, between like this and the stuff on family is it's like you're saying the quiet things out loud, because it's like you something, right? You feel something, and then you put words to it, and you're like, that's the thing that I couldn't name. So it's and a lot of times, a lot of the things that are on the page, like for sure. I'm a kid from the 80s, so the crack era is like intimately acquainted with that. That was in my household and outside. It was everywhere. But the instability, I didn't realize how much that had shaped my thinking and my identity until this year. And so, but, it's like, if you listen to Black people, like, we go to school, we go this, we do this, and we still don't get opportunities. We get opportunities, but it's like we have so many holes because of stuff like this that we can't really build. It's like we can't weather a storm because we don't see this stuff. I think, to be honest, like I don't hear, very rarely do I hear these conversations come in. This is like the only place. I'm not saying that just because it's not. If you know me, I'm a nerd. I'm all out here. I read my ass off. I was growing in frustration because it's not for lack of putting in time, energy, work. Like, it's not that, but it's like the things that you can't see, and so much of this that's on this page are like the things that we can't see. And there's not a place to really unpack what that's like. And oftentimes we're so ashamed of it, or we think that we grew past it, right? I'm not like my mom was. I'm not whatever. I'm not like that. And so we don't look here because we don't want to believe that all of the things that we didn't make us somehow escape this. But you can't escape something that's that deeply rooted. And so I guess I'm grabbing the mic, one, to say thank you for saying the things, because again, there's like this frustration of like, like, why can't I get it right? Like, what am I doing wrong? And so you read another book and you do another thing and you do another thing, but you're kind of not looking in the right places. And so it's like you can kind of tunnel, but it's not productive. And when you think about productivity, like this shit is crazy to me.
Yeah. First of all, both of y'all, thank you. That was shit. Please, everything she said, I couldn't have said it better. Read the last line, Shigina.
These are not intellectual errors. They are psychological survival codes.
So this is grace, self-grace. You don't have intellectual errors. Nobody in this room, please do not say, "Oh, I'm bad with I'm dumb, I'm stupid." No. You've been surviving. Remember the loser versus winner. I said a loser archetype pretty much is the water you swim in. It's not who you are. And you became a loser because what got you here through survival made you an excellent loser. But in order for you to go here, you have to learn how to become a winner. Well, a lot of our money behavior is because our brain, some of our deeper psychological norms is still stuck here, and we're going to have to let go so we can get here. But it's not, you didn't read that one, you didn't do your homework, or you were bullshit when the rest of us was watching CNBC. No. This is not something. This is not a place for shame. This is a place for discovery. It's a big difference. Like, try to suppress every time your brain tries to find a space for shame, turn that shit the fuck down and get caught up and excited about the discovery. Next slide.
Behavior is greater than math every time. Mm-hmm. The mindset drives the math, not the other way around. People overspend because they're stressed.
So real quick, people overspend because they're stressed. This is again, people overspend because they're stressed. You might not do drugs, but you spend it. Keep going.
Not because they don't know the numbers.
Not because you don't know the numbers. It's not like you got there and be like, oh, the lady added it up and I was like, damn, I didn't know it was going to be this much, but I went ahead and paid it anyway. No. You were grabbing that Louis Vuitton and everything because that's how you're coping with your stress. Keep going.
People avoid budgeting because they feel shame.
Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna share my story because hopefully you guys will see your story. When I was going through my brokest period, and I'm talking about I was seriously broke. I lived off of $20 a week in food. That's $80 a month in food. Thank God for Discount Grocer or whatever that Rainbow store was. I forgot the name of the store. Grocery Outlet. I called it everything in the world. Look, I just walk through those doors every day with my head down. Just give me some Cornish cane hens for $5 and some potatoes and a couple of eggs. And I made so many things with potatoes, eggs, and Cornish cane hen. Y'all have no idea how many dishes I came up with. But anyway, when it came time to look at my monthly bills, I would avoid, and to this day, I got to still nudge myself to look at my bank account. Even though my bank account is far in the plus, I still have this, where it's like, I put my finger on my phone to use my identity to open up my Bank of America account. It's a great looking account. I still have this fear, because you know why I didn't want to look at my bank account? Because it reminded me that I wasn't good enough. For years, I should have been here, but my bank account is here. So even though I'm out here talking and do all this shit to make myself feel good, my numbers reminded me, no, that's not really who the fuck you are, bro. This is who the fuck you are right here. So I'm doing big things. Now with $1,000, you're not. And be here $1,000 like $10, and everywhere else it's no money at all. Like I'm doing big things, not when bills are coming due and you're trying to figure out how to pay them. So I started avoiding looking at credit cards. So guess what's happening? I'm not recording my spending habits, my credit habits. I'm not looking at money in any formal way to get myself to make better decisions because emotionally my value is tied to my bank account. Can anybody relate to that? Is it just me or just okay? Right on, amen. Okay, look here. Let the financial church say amen. Okay. So keep going. Can we finish that line and go to the next one?
Not because it's mathematically challenging. People don't invest because they fear losing.
I had money for investments. It took me 4 years to jump. I'm not lying to y'all. It took me 4 years. I had the money. I read all the techniques on what I should and should not be doing. So all the guys like the Wall Street trapper, I was like, shut up, that ain't how it works. That's not how it works. Tell me, you're going to make people lose a lot of money. It ain't how it works. So I had to jump into S&P. I had to jump into, I had to build a relationship with Merrill Lynch. And I built a relationship with Sophie. So I got 3 different areas of it. Do you know I opened those accounts in 2 or 3 years? I was like, I'm not ready yet. No, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. Okay, I talked to the lady, but I ain't ready to give her no money. She said, no, you got all this money in your checking account. You're losing money. It's ridiculous. I know, but at least I got it though. I'm not lying to you. This is really who I was. When I first started investing, my brain said, what? It was almost like somebody took me out of this dimension and threw me in a dimension where we rule the world. And I was a king. And I'm like, wait. Why is this happening? Why are people treating me? Why am I getting, wait a minute, I just opened my bank account and they gave me this. You give me how much money per month? I paid, you gonna just give me money? And then when I started structuring my credit cards and I'll get into the other part in a minute, but you mean you gonna pay for my vacation every year, credit cards? You mean, how come y'all didn't tell me about this shit? I can't tell you a class that was at any of my high school, junior high, elementary, junior college, and college that taught me about how to manage my money. And if they taught me, I wouldn't have heard it. That's the thing you got to understand. I wouldn't have heard it because there's deeper fears and pains on the inside. Keep going.
The emotion comes first. The financial decision follows.
100%. Next slide. So let's talk about survival mode versus wealth mode. I want you to go left to right. So one side is survival mode. This is mode that we're in. Many of us are. And then the wealth mode is where you want to go to. Let's go for it.
Survival mode versus wealth mode. Survival mode. Acts now.
Acts now, yeah. It's that New York shit. Yo, son, come on. Let's go. Come on, kid.
I don't know what y'all gonna do next year when I gotta read all class. All class. Wealth mode, plans ahead.
So once again, big difference. Act now. I gotta. Even so you start your, I gotta get this going. I gotta plan ahead. Do you move in planning or do you move in acting? Keep going. By the way, that's really way deeper. I'm gonna teach this. I'm gonna get into this by the end. Let me see. It might not be here, but in a couple of slides come up, I'm gonna get back to the act now and plan ahead. That's way deeper than you realize. Go ahead.
Survival, spends for relief.
Oh, I got. I need to go buy. I just need to go out and buy me something right now. Weekend here. I need to go to coffee, go to dinner with my friends. I need to go spend some money. Go ahead.
Wealth, spends for return.
Ooh, spend for return. You guys know what that is? Who knows what spend for return is? What's spend for return?
It's like the difference between like an investment, for example, like you used to say, don't put rims on your business. So buying stuff that makes you feel good versus investing in something that's going to give you a return on your outcome. So things like customer service, placement, psychology, like all the things that like prime people to stay, lower attrition, like those things that give you long term.
Well, there's value in happiness, satisfaction. So, for example, let's say Court came in with a Rolex watch, right? He had a Rolex watch. And every time he put on that watch, he felt good about himself. And he got up every morning. And then he was able to get older. And then as he got older, he passed it to his son of his daughter. That watch served him well. But now if he has 7 watches, you see where we're going with this? It's starting to lose its value. Here's a simple rule. You should be investing more than you're spending. Is that crazy? Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about your basics, like your rent, your car note, your utilities. But if you're out spending on the weekend more than you're investing, you're in a different rhythm. Next one. Go ahead, hit the next one.
Mm-hmm. Survival avoids risk. Mm-hmm. Wealth manages risk.
Risk is our friend when you're trying to build wealth. But if you're not used to building wealth, you avoid risk. I'll get to that a little later. Go ahead.
Survival hides from numbers. Mm-hmm. Wealth uses numbers.
There you go. Keep going.
Survival lives by emotion.
So you know how the black community is very emotional? It's tied to our economics. Go ahead. And when you're into wealth?
Lives by systems.
Oh my God. I'm going to teach this next year, systems. Let me explain to y'all what systems is, because you don't get how fucking powerful. It's one of the most powerful things on this list. 510 Media is going through systems development right now. So we're going through right now. I'm going to make an announcement in a year that 2025 is going to be the year of systems. You say, what's the year of systems? Systems is building a system that automates all the processes in your business and suppresses the emotions in your business. Because again, it automates all the processes in your business, yet suppresses the emotions in your business. When you don't have systems, let's say you pay your bill every month, and one month things didn't go well. You don't feel good about paying that bill. Now you're late. But when you automate it, that bill gets paid no matter how the fuck you feel, right? Let's say you have a team of people who's doing a certain job, and here's a system of how we do it. This is our recipe on how we get the job. We go from job comes in. This is our cash flow for the month. Job comes in. And this is a system we follow and we go through to get to the end results. When you don't have a system, job comes in. Hey, Court, can you get that job done? Meaning that all the power of the company and pressure of the company falls on Court. Can you turn your business where the team runs the business, not the individuals? That means that if I fire Court tomorrow, I could train another Court within weeks because a system says you do A, B, and C. You grab rebounds. I don't need you focused on crossovers. I don't need focused on shooting shots. You just grab rebounds. I'm going to train you on how we grab rebounds at 510 Media. So systematizing everything it makes management run different. It makes employees performance change, and designing your business, designing your economics, designing your wealth only can be done if you understand the science of systems. I'm going to teach that next year. But systems is something that many of us don't know because system is the opposite of heroism. Many of us are looking to be the dopest person or hire dope people, and systems says, no. When you understand systems, you understand the science of diversity, and diversity combined with systems mean the system becomes so damn strong that it will have an automatic performance. And when that performance goes off, it's almost like you could find, this just need to be tweaked a little bit, or this need to be adjusted here, to be adjusted there. And that system will run and almost become automated. So to the point that it allows management to move differently. It allows management to come out of a hero role and become a visionary role. Oh, y'all don't hear me. This shit is so cold. We all understand the difference. And in our community, we don't talk systems. We don't even know that shit exists. Because when you're the labor force, you've never been in the role of engineering systems. You've just been engineered by the system. Keep going.
Thinks in days, survival mode. Wealth thinks in years.
Thinks in years mean that you're already trying to map out where you're going in years. You're thinking in years. It doesn't mean that your plan is rigid, has a rigid design for, I have a 7-year plan. Ain't no fucking such thing. But you're thinking in years. Even in your family, in your relationship. If I do this today, what does that mean years from now? If I make this decision today, what does that mean with your own body? If I move like this, what does it mean years from now? Days is, hey man, I just had to be happy. I just feel like doing it. That's what I just feel like doing. And the impulse dialogue is so popular in our culture. I challenge you to challenge anybody when they're excited about their impulses to say, hey, bad impulse, slow it down. Think about that year turn. They look at you a party pooper and never share anything else with you again. Am I lying? Keep going.
Survival looks rich. Wealth.
Black people, don't we look rich? Have y'all seen the rappers in videos? Don't they look rich? Anybody that gets on TV or screen, if we go on screen, don't we look rich? As opposed to what? As opposed to what?
Oh, sorry.
Looks
Becomes
versus-
rich.
Becomes rich. Go ahead. Finish the last line.
You cannot build wealth from survival mode.
So remember when Court taught survival mode? That was the coldest finance class you guys ever experienced, and everybody missed why it was so important. They thought it was just about, I feel like I heard a lot of people go into self-shame mode. Yeah, I've always been, scarcity, and I don't understand why I've always been survival mode, and I've been through this. And he was like, no, I'm trying to teach you how to manage your money. Next slide.
Money trauma creates money distortion.
Say it again. Read that again, because his tone is getting old. He needs hearing aids. Say it again.
Money trauma creates money distortion.
Y'all hear that? Money trauma creates money distortion. Let's go for it.
When your body is trying to stay emotionally safe, you may avoid your bank account.
So that's from your body. This is your body. I mean, you can feel it in your body. Go ahead.
Overspend to feel better.
Overspend to feel better.
Give too much to family.
Give too much to family because it's going to feel better.
Buy status to feel worthy.
Buy status to feel worthy. I gotta buy that car, those clothes, those shoes. I gotta get purple bottles. Fuck, red bottles is low end. I'm going purple. Go ahead.
Not ask questions. Fear of sounding dumb.
Hey, you ever heard of? Yeah. I heard of that. No, you haven't. Stop it. You ever do with finance? Oh yeah. I know about finance. Well, you know about finance. Some shit. You don't know nothing. But you won't. We discovered this our third year business. Being dumb makes you smart.
When you know it.
Being dumb makes you smart. The only reason you can't be dumb because you feel stupid. Let me say this again. Being dumb makes you smart, but the reason you can't be dumb because you feel stupid. Yeah, hey, look. Yeah, let me stop that. That's my daddy. Go ahead. I'm not gonna do my daddy. No, I like my daddy.
Oh, Lord. Buy status to feel worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Not ask questions. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that already. Sabotage opportunities.
Sabotage opportunities. Let me tell you sabotage opportunities. Your emotional responses and attitudes and what you think people mean when they talk to you. You sabotage more financial opportunities in a little bit. I want to be and do what I want to do and fuck the world. You just sabotage so much money, it's ridiculous. Go ahead, Charlie. I just said it yesterday. Don't just play.
I was just thinking about the sabotage opportunities in the sense of when you're in a money trauma. There's been times when I don't do it now because now I'm past that point. But not asking for enough, and it could go back to your self-worth. But and this is something I learned when I first started the business. That when I was working with certain partners, they're like, we don't even look at anything under a certain amount. If you're asking for $5,000 is too low, we don't blink at that. They look at higher risk, higher reward, and that at first when I heard that sounded scary. And now I'm like, well, if you want to hear a bigger number, then I'm gonna give you a bigger number. But when I first started pitching those numbers, that was scary. But
even when you pitch those numbers, if you haven't been sitting in those numbers,
right,
because you don't have a relationship with those numbers, because you have money trauma, in your conversation, you could say, yeah, I'm worth $1 million, but everything you about to say afterwards sounds like $10,000 because you don't know how to talk like $1 million because you don't have a relationship with money. Like you don't need to even have $1 million to know how to talk like $1 million. But if you have a scarcity relationship with money, you will even. So I remember on my first .com job, I was working with this dude, and he's like, "Yo, spend, just keep spending, man. You got to keep that money flowing." I was the director of the IT department. Man, can you keep the motherfucking money flowing? This white guy was talking to me. I was like, "What? This sounds stupid. Like, what if we run out of money? What if?" No. You missed the point. We're chasing opportunities. We're not trying to say what we have. That's a big difference in thinking. So the way you gonna move a risk, when a risk hits the table and everybody's looking at the risk and everybody's calculating, I would do A, I would do B, I would do C. You like, I do 1, 2, 3. And they're like, what the fuck? You just 1, 2, 3? Nobody talking about no 1, 2, 3. But you don't even know that's a thing because you're gonna automatically sabotage stuff because you don't have a relationship with money. There's so many different things you're gonna do that could be so blind to you because you gotta remember that you don't get to access the thoughts of an alien. You don't get the thought. A millionaire is an alien to you. You don't get to access just like you just sit in a room and all of a sudden just download and like, oh, this is what a millionaire would say. No. So even when you're in that room faking it till you're making it, we see you. We know you're not. We know you're not one of us. I promise you. I can tell when somebody in the room is like faking it. I'm like, I keep listening to you. Like, oh yeah, you don't have that kind of money. But I would have not been able to hear you until I got that kind of money. And then it changed the way my ears. But the reason I got that kind of money because I had to change my behavior. This is my journey, people. I'm not preaching pie in the sky. I'm not sitting on some mountain like, I didn't go through this. No, I am this. I want y'all to see, this is why I can hear you because I'm a hybrid. I can hear what you're saying, but I also can hear what you don't know. And I'm trying to like start this bridge of communication to say, hey, I can see you, right? Keep going. For example, okay, I'm gonna share this one story. Somebody really popular in our community, I refuse to say this person's name, came to me one day and they was dressed really nice, clean cut, polished. Yo, Nana, I'm doing woo, 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 woo. Let him keep going. And I heard something he said that said he actually shared that he was struggling, but he didn't know he told me he was struggling. So I said, hey man, come closer, man. Quit fucking lying to me, you broke. Fuck with me so I can help you make some money. He went, how'd you know? And this person, y'all would never know this person did it. Like this person's ego, a person is bigger than life. But when I come closer to me, I can hear you. And I usually do the same thing. That's why I can hear you. I know what you're saying. It's not I can hear you because I got some special. No, I'm you growing. That's it. So I know you bullshit. And what's going to happen is because that lie you're telling yourself and telling me is stopping you from getting knowledge from me to get what you need to get. Keep going.
These are nervous system
No, choose. There's one more.
Oh, sorry. Choose short-term pleasure over long-term gain.
That one right there is the enemy of all investments. You want, I got to feel good right now as opposed to I'm trying to play this long game. Can you reduce short-term pleasure for long-term gain? Now, read the last one.
These are nervous system responses, not knowledge gaps.
Real quick. So this has nothing to do with your education. I don't give a fuck if you're from Purdue, Stanford, Berkeley, Harvard, Howard, Spelman, which is my little niece is going to Spelman. I'm so proud of her. But anyway, point is this. This ain't got nothing to do with your knowledge. This is your nervous system responding. I mean, your money's tied to your nervous system. Your nervous system, people. Good time. She said like that. Oh, I love y'all. Next slide.
Y'all are actually
Go ahead.
crazy. Why our community needs behavioral finance.
Let me see this. Why our community? I didn't stutter. Why our community needs behavioral finance first? Go ahead.
Because we are battling historical financial exclusion.
So historically, we were financially excluded, right? Yeah, I know that, right? That's impacting us to this day. Keep going.
Predatory systems designed to extract wealth.
So we got abused even to this today. Check cash into multi-level marketing. All those places are preying on us. Even some of our schools and some of these systems that we're supposed to be trustworthy, lawyers and doctors are preying on us. Keep going.
Lack of generational wealth models.
So that means that's why I talked about college the other day. When you lose generational wealth, you lose a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge has been lost. It should have been passed down through generations. Go ahead.
Scarcity norms in our neighborhoods.
That's norms. We used to it. Keep going.
Trauma triggers passed down from parents.
So parents who were traumatized from you better not walk on this side of the streets and all this stuff that went down is impacting our economics. Keep going.
Pressure to look like we got it.
Fake it till you make it. You gotta look good. Keep going.
Distrust of institutions.
That's well said.
The analogy, teaching math without addressing behaviors is like teaching swimming without addressing the fear of water.
That you guys care with this? Like, if you don't get past this fear in this relationship with economics, with wealth, I can teach you all the math I want to teach you. You're not going to use it. And if you use it, you're going to handicap it with your internal challenges. Next slide.
The money operating system, OS. Your internal programming around money is built from childhood experiences.
So when we talked about family, watch this. I was teaching you about money. Keep going. So your internal programming around money is built from what?
Childhood experiences. Family money scripts.
Family money scripts. Keep going.
Emotional safety needs. Cultural messages.
So all the hip hop music you listen to was impacting your economics. Did you know that? Did you know that? It was directly attacking your pocketbooks. It ain't just music and just being creative and what about Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's negative. No, every form of entertainment that's tied to your culture that gives cultural identity is impacting your spending habits. Keep going. And your investment habits. Keep going.
Trauma responses. Identity, labor versus builder. Rewards loops. Coping mechanisms.
There you go.
If your OS is corrupted, the math won't matter. You first need to update the system.
Y'all trying to see what we're doing in Hope, why it's so important? Keep it going, because I want to close out with this year.
So what do we teach first? Not first. Budgets, interest rates, spreadsheets.
Because I've been asked this for 3 or 4 years. How come you don't teach budgeting more, or spreadsheets, or interest rates? These are questions I've been asked directly. And this is what we teach.
Emotional regulation, money triggers, scarcity and abundance psychology, self-worth and value, risk tolerance, identity shifts, long-term decision-making, trauma-informed habits.
Now you guys starting to see it? Huh? East Logan Shabisha's in the house. She went dumb with the first one. Wait, okay, go. Next slide. I want to bring this home because I don't want folks saying, "Oh, it's a psychology church" or whatever. Somebody was here all the time. Like, no, it's not how this shit works. Go ahead.
1, behavior first. 2, math second. 3, systems third.
And I will be teaching systems next year. And systems is so cool. When you guys get into systems, it's almost like you're still living almost similar to the way you was feeling before. It's just every 3 or 4 months when you're checking your account, because you also too, you don't want to check every month for long-term investments because it's a psychological trick. I'll get to that later on. But let's say you're checking your bank account once or twice a year, your investments once or twice a year, or 3 times a year. It's going to be crazy when you look at your investments and see compounding actually working. And you're like, oh my God, compounding interest this is really a thing. And when you start to witness this whole different culture around wealth, and once it really just starts to replace some of your poverty states of mind, what you're gonna realize is, and then you open your eyes and look at your people, you'll realize, oh shit, this is the coldest game ever played on our people. We don't know. It's not like we haven't had money. We just had these things that interrupted our relationship to money. Next slide.
When behavior changes, math starts working.
That's the trick right there. When behavior changes, the math starts to work. Keep going.
Budgeting works when your emotions are regulated.
So try to budget without your emotions being regulated. Won't work. Keep going.
Saving works when your identity supports long-term thinking.
Long-term. So by the way, I'm gonna teach a whole class on long-term thinking because I haven't been impressed. I'm not impressed. I don't hear a lot of people talking about long-term thinking. It's a thing. And long-term thinking regulates your emotional behavior right now. When you play in the long game with everybody around you, you change the reaction and response and the severity of the moment. But if you short-term, petty shit gets to you like the shit you see on the internet. He said, she said, they said. That's all short game thinking. When you play long-term thinking, you can say, shit happens. Keep going.
Investing works when your nervous system feels safe with uncertainty.
That was the biggest thing I had to learn, how to be comfortable with uncertainty to be able to invest. Do you guys know this year how much I talked about randomness and uncertainty and probability? I use it almost every class. I made mention towards that. That was me arriving in a space that's comfortable with investing and also comfortable with loss. Because you're not playing a game of wins. You're playing a game that has a possibility of a loss, but it's better than not playing the game at all. Can you actually process that? Playing the game is better than not playing the game at all, or does the fear of loss make the game feel like playing the game itself is a loss? It's cold. Next year we're gonna work through this shit. Go. Let's keep going. Building
wealth works when you stop self-sabotage and scarcity behaviors.
Keep going.
The tools become effective once the mind is ready to use them.
So once your mind is ready to use these tools, you guys gonna say, oh my God, how come, I wish I could have started this a long time ago. It's not you. It's you getting yourself out the way so you can actually have access to this stuff. Otherwise, if I teach you this stuff and you're still in the way, you're not gonna take advantage of it. You're just not. It's too fucking hard. Because it's going to trigger all your trauma, and all of our culture is going to start to sabotage and collapse right in front of us. Keep going. Next slide.
The truth. Your money will not grow until your mind grows.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
The truth. Your money will not grow until your mind does.
Okay, I'm going to read it because you have a beautiful voice. My voice is fucked up. Your money will not grow until your mind grows. Remember I told you that thought is undervalued, understated? The most valuable thing you have in your business is thought? Your money will not grow until your mind grows. You see how much game I was giving you? Y'all think this is a moral class, like good, bad, right, wrong, value, status class. It's not a status. I don't give a fuck about a status. We're all climbing. When you climb it doesn't, that shit changes every day. It's irrelevant to me. I care about how your mind works. Because your mind is going to directly impact the way your money works. And then the more you resist mental growth, the more you resist economic growth. This is why I don't want to talk about white people at all in my class. Hey, yeah, do we have some issues that's happening? Yeah. But they did the work, the damage they did to us is through slavery, Jim Crow, and then the crack era is a combination of things. But slavery and Jim Crow and crack did so much damage. Using them as a scapegoat escapes the real problem, which is until your money will not grow until your mind grows. Keep going, Shakina.
Your business cannot scale until you scale.
Huh? My business is not growing because you're not growing. Oh, I'm just trying to figure shit out. I'm just going to try to figure shit out. Yeah, I know. Keep going.
Math tells you what to do.
Keep going. No, that's all. That's the next.
Your psychology determines whether you actually do it.
Now y'all see why math tells you what to do. Psychology actually determines if you're going to do it or not. And if you don't get the psychology part down, most of the things you need to do are easily defined. A lot of shit you need to do, you can actually ask AI tomorrow if you wanted to. The question is, will you do it? Will you do it? I ain't got enough money to invest. Oh, yes, you do. But you got a lot of emotional spending that you've loaned so much money. And here's the thing that kills me. Let's say Josh saves all of his money and makes smart investments. You fuck around and have the audacity to be mad at him because he did the right thing and you didn't. Look. Next slide.
Absolutely crazy.
So here's some questions. Everybody, these are some questions to ask yourself. I'm not gonna make this. We'll make this a part of the discussion next year. But let's go to these questions you want to ask yourself.
What to notice in yourself? Take a moment. Ask yourself honestly. What was the money story in your household growing up?
That's important. What was the money story in your household growing up? I'm giving you, okay, Sherlock Holmes is this, and Mrs. Sherlock Holmes is this. I'm giving you clues on how to invest your money habits and start to like dissect and see where you really sit. So start with the first one again.
What was the money story in your household growing up?
Mm-hmm.
When you think about checking your bank account, what feeling comes up?
So when you check a bank account, what feeling comes up? Pay attention to that feeling. Keep going.
What do you tell yourself about people who have money?
So what stories do you have about people who have money? Keep going.
When you have extra money, what is your first impulse?
Pay attention. Keep going.
What belief about wealth did you inherit that might not serve you? Awareness is the first step towards change.
Next slide.
This class is not about formulas.
Come on, I'm reinforcing what Court just said.
This class is about transformation. Mm-hmm. Money is psychological, wealth is behavioral, math comes later. Let's begin the work of healing our relationship with money.
Now, as a bonus, last slide. I just want to go over this worker. I talked about this worker archetype versus, or I said worker paradigm versus builder paradigm. I mentioned this many times in class, and I feel like every time I said it, it sounded weak. Everybody looked at me like, whatever the fuck that means. Que sera, sera. So let's go through the difference between the worker brain, and this is especially, Josh, this is you at its best. Worker brain versus builder brain. Let's go.
Do you want me to read left to right?
Yeah, left to right.
Okay. Worker's brain gets paid for time. Builder's brain gets paid for value.
Now, here's the thing. If you don't communicate that in the way you write up your estimates and your invoices, you may say you believe in value, but you're sending cost messages to your client. You gotta even in your proposals, how you talk about what your service you provide, you have to talk about it in a value perspective as opposed to a hourly time perspective. Even when you like, if you don't know how to talk the difference, you already capped your business growth. Keep going.
Workers avoid risk.
Safe. You gotta be safe. Safety is important. Gotta be safety. Safety. It's always about safety. I asked a question the other day. I said, you buy a new house in a fancy neighborhood, and you have this beautiful tree in the backyard. To only find out that the neighbor who bought a house months before you has a child who's horribly allergic to the fruit that falls off that tree. Do you cut that tree down? Answer is, let me say you time, because some of y'all gonna feel guilty. No, you don't. You know why? Because if you cut the tree down, scale the idea long term, you just justify deforestation. Because another kid goes, I'm allergic to pine, or I'm allergic to sycamore. So do we cut all the damn trees down, or we just tell sycamore kid, don't go near sycamore or pine tree? You know where you know, and the fruit kid, why you eating that fruit? Go somewhere else. Personal responsibility. Trust me, okay, let me tell you why that's dangerous. California is known for doing that. Every time they have a serious situation that has energy, they cut the tree down. But then laws that start to constrain business growth and it destroys competitive edge. See that long-term thinking versus short-term thinking? That's one of the things where, like, that's why when I look, social justice is, going back to social justice, why I hate it so much. It is a language that produces poverty, and financial poverty and emotional poverty. That's why I hate it so fucking much. It makes risk and fear too high. We're too sensitive. We're judging things we don't have power over, and we're using oxymoron concepts. White people are everything you have to say is oxymoron. There's no such thing. Black people are, there's no such thing. It depends where, all those variables change. It all changes. Black people are not mass killers. Oh, what happened to the brothers in Nigeria? What about brothers in Haiti? I mean, it depends what the situation is. So things for example, I told her, Shakira has a dope saying to kind of break people out of some of that oxymoron. She just somebody say, yeah, I don't like this about white people. She says, if you was in their shoes, what would you do different? And you'll find that if you was in their shoes, you'd do something very similar. You know, you say all people need to stick together. You know, that's also an early form of eugenics if you flip it. What if white people say all white people need to stick together? I'm not trying to talk the political game. Don't put me in the Trump, MAGA, all that trash. I'm not in none of that trash. I'm highlighting that as you grow, some people are a preview of possible traps that's waiting on you. And you got to pay attention to shit as opposed to when you throw things in these little neat-ass, dumb-ass categories, you're missing lessons for your own evolution. Keep going, Shakina.
Workers reacts, builders brain designs.
So when you're building and you have problems, we're designing for problems we don't have and problems that we experience and problems we currently have it. We're designing systems to deal with problems. If you're just reacting all day long, solving problems, knocking things out, that's what workers do. So when you come to run your business, this is why a lot of you guys work yourself to death when you run your business, because you react. No, you got to design shit. Otherwise, you will find out the first thing you're going to lose is time. Keep going. Next one.
Workers consume, builders builds.
Mm-hmm.
Workers lives paycheck
by
to paycheck. Builders lives by cash flow.
Oh, well, I'm going to teach cash flow next year. When you show you, but the question is, can you actually deal with cash flow? Because it's a very uncomfortable space if you don't feel like you're good enough. Keep going.
Workers think short term. Builders think generationally.
Everything I'm doing right now is for my daughter's children. Say this again. Everything I'm doing right now is for my daughter's children. Even when I'm raising my daughter, I'm raising her to raise her children. To be responsible for the wealth I'm passing down. The name, my brand I'm building, my name, anybody that's ever called my name in the field knows my name has some weight. That brand I'm building that I will not sabotage is so my daughter can eat well off my brand. I'm thinking about generations. I'm not thinking about me being happy with this car I'm about to buy and this outfit. I'm thinking, what move can I make to make sure my generational name becomes so strong that my daughter says, oh yeah, I'm an NT. Oh shit, come on in. I'm an NT. Oh shit, here's the money. You just go. I know who you are. As opposed to if I didn't put that generational investment in and I'm just living life because I'm just being reactionary and I'm short-term thinking and I'm being emotional, I'm sabotaging my children's economic wealth. Nobody talked to y'all like that before? Huh? This game is cold. This is why I gotta do me. I gotta be happy. I gotta feel free. I gotta, because as a child I didn't, so now I got to. And you just fucking up you just sabotaging every fucking thing. Adulting is living for the generation you will never fully meet. This class is already a recording that will live in my family name that knows, hey, your great granddad, we got some video on him. It becomes the Bible of the family. So when the son and nephew says, I'm going to do this, you be like, hey, we've been doing this for years. You see what I'm going I'm moving to pass myself forward. I'm saving to invest in the future that I don't get the chance to enjoy. I first had to take care of my aging. You got to make sure the 70s, 80s, and 90s, if you get that far, 100s, that's just safe. But outside of that, how do I make it sure that if my daughter says, Dad, I want to go to, I'm really pushing my child to go to a black university, and I'll explain that later on, but that's one of the best choices for black kids because the mindset there is cold. But my daughter might say, now I want to go to Harvard. I don't want to say, ooh. Also, let me say this too. My household is producing a rhythm that allows my child to get at that level and make it normal. Because see, when children go to a certain level of education or a certain level of economic performance, going back to the course point, they normalize a certain level of friction to the point that they don't even feel, they don't even sense it. They just kind of like, they move in a certain kind of rhythm that prepares them that when they hit that obstacle, they're already moving a rhythm that can like cut to that obstacle. I've seen too many of our people hit those obstacles and get shocked by the accelerated rhythm of their competition and fall out the race. So today, my parenting is revving her up in a way that she thinks is normal without breaking her with overstress or some militant. I'm not a military dad or some, but I'm always like normalizing. Like my daughter is 7 and she's up to running a half a mile. I'm teaching her to say, hey, I know you don't want to do this, but since you've been 3, you've been out there running with daddy. You want to run with daddy. Daddy ain't faster no more. It's just funny. I'm older. But the point is this, her brain sees those points where your brain says, stop, that's enough, I don't want to do this. She's training her brain to go, yeah, but we got to do it. Your impulse is not your direction. You need to feel what you feel, but you still need to do what you need to do. That's a winner mindset. A loser said they feel what they feel, and then it becomes a fucking conversation. You know what I'm feeling today? I want to call everybody in the room and talk about this. I wanted to cook breakfast, but I don't know. Today, I just wasn't feeling it. And I've been going through a lot. Bruh. Exactly. So I'm saying, like, I'm teaching my daughter, like, hey, let's talk about your feelings. Okay. But you still got to get these things done. And do it with love and hugs and normalizing it. And also model it for her to the point, daddy's researching tonight. I'm going to probably be researching for 2 or 3 hours. You come and say hi to me, but you'll be researching. You want to study next to me? Not nobody ever reads because everybody's watching TV and you want this child to sit down and study for hours. Come on, people. We got to model what we want because I'm playing a generational game. You guys get where I'm going with this? I want y'all to dig on what I'm saying. Like, this shit is, once you start playing a generational game, do you realize y'all gonna die? You really gonna die. And you gonna live a selfish life. You really wanna live this life and be selfish and die with nothing to give forward? This is the real shit we dealing with. And hit the last one.
Values safety for workers, and builders values ownership.
I can give safety in a minute for some ownership. You see it like, if somebody says to me, don't hire Scott because he offended people. Do you know I don't realize if he raped somebody or if he just insulted somebody, because now we're too sensitive about everything. To the point that we train our brain to say, I'm offended. Oh, I'm so offended. I'm so bothered. I feel like this world's crazy because shit's just crazy. You know what's so crazy about this world? This is, you have to train yourself. Most of your fears are exaggerated. You really don't realize how the world was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years. They would make this world seem phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But you know what makes it feels worse? Is you guys watch a lot of trash source of information. Whether it's scrolling, whether it's 24-hour news, it's trash. So they're amplifying shit that's always this. Do you understand during World War II, you probably couldn't stomach news? During the Vietnam War, you could have never stomach news. During the 70s in the poverty era of New York, when New York was like, when motherfuckers was eating rats for real, you couldn't stomach that? Do you understand how poor this nation is, and it has how people have been suffering in this world for a long ass time? And the only thing that you watch so many TV programs where everybody live happily ever after because it's entertaining you, and you think that's the world you live in. So then when real world shows up, which is actually better than any other human beings I've ever experienced, you say, oh my God, the world's fucked up, because your brain is doing an invisible comparison to we lived happily ever after. So why you say, well, why does that matter, Nana? Because I just talked to you about money again. The world is shitty. The world's going to hell. Why do you care about long-term thinking? Do you realize you're being traumatized because your expectations? Okay, last point, because we're closing out because the tunnel closes. Hey, I told y'all when the tunnel closes, I love y'all, but I gotta go. Do you realize that expectations can outpace your economics, your resources, your wealth? And if your expectations outpaces your wealth, you can have wealth and be broke because you expect more. You think you should have more because you're doing comparisons. Going back to when Court talked about comparisons, he's teaching you about wealth. I mean, if you could change your expectations, you could change your investments. You can change your wealth if you change your expectations. But if your expectation says, I should have, whatever that is, that feeling that you get from that point on distorts your relationship with money and creates trauma around money. Now, if you think about that, tell me how much social media has been impacting your expectations. Because when you go on social media and this person's on a nice trip in Dubai, this person has this kind of body and they got crystal. This person's in Las Vegas, dressed finest, and you say, my boring ass life going to work every day, my boring ass account with only $10,000 in the account, I need to do something. My friend just got a brand new car. This rapper just talked about millions, and everybody's talking about millions. You never follow those stories, do you? I think Shannon Sharp was talking about Odell Beckham. He said, why do we still teach that the lifestyle that rappers and entertainers show is not sustainable by almost anybody? Almost anybody. I'm telling you right now, the cost of doing that for one day would piss me the fuck off. It don't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Hella jewelry around my neck. I would literally take that jewelry and invest that shit. Y'all don't understand how I'm like, I buy what I want to buy. The freedom to go in a store and go, I don't have a limitation. The freedom to say, I will go anywhere in the world. I don't have a limitation. Go to any restaurant. I don't have a limitation. I traded that opportunity for, I don't need that shit. I'm going to invest this shit. So my investment game gives me walk around freedom. If I see a car tomorrow and I really want it, I could do it. I just would never do it because it makes no damn sense to me. But I know I can absolutely do it without. When I brought my Harley, it's one of those purchases. This is 5 years ago. I brought my Harley. Brand new. I walked in the store and I was like, yo, I want this Harley. Well, okay, we're going to do your credit check. Okay, you finish your credit check, but I got some money laying around the house. I can just bring it to you from the house. You know, Harleys are $35,000 plus, right? Here you go. I don't care. When I bought the Harley, there was no like, oh, I got to stop here. I got to restrain. Here you go. What stops me from spending is my love for investments and generational growth, not because I'm scared about going broke. Now, if I was mentally damaged and I was spending to make myself feel valuable and I'm throwing money, I'm even burning money to make sure I'm impressive. I'm at strip clubs dropping thousands of $1 bills all in the air. That doesn't make sense long term. I'm spending my daughter's money on stupid shit. Freedom comes with restraints baked in. You don't get to have freedom by being free. Freedom requires restraints. Y'all dig that shit? If you're absolutely free, you will go broke. Freedom requires restraints, self-restraints. You might have been in East Oakland lately where they run stop signs and lights, and right now they're throwing up all these cameras now because it's out of control. The amount of accidents and deaths there's over 10,000 people going over 10 miles per hour down Bancroft per day. Right? Would you send your child down Bancroft to have her cross the street, go to the store, and come back? That means because we don't have restraint, your child lost her freedom. You guys dig this? You see where I'm going with this? We demonize, we bought this dumbass extreme liberal idea. We should all be free and do what we want. No, we shouldn't. No, especially not you. You guys gonna go with this? Hey, we had a good year this year. Hopefully you guys understand that I taught nothing but business. Even when I made it sound personal, it was never personal. Even the friction we create in this class is designed. Court highlighted it so well when he said, I may feel sometimes like a stone face or stone personality because I went through so many layers of breaking myself. I'm not the Nana that Scott Ridgely met, Shakina met, Josh met, Jasadi met, Charlize met back in the days. Shabisha, you met me in evolution. The rest of y'all met me in evolution stages, right? Yeah, y'all don't know. And the thing is I broke myself so many different times.
And us.
And I'm saying that I realized that friction was the best thing in the world for me because when you start to battle the public, okay, battling us is not really no wins. If I battle anybody in this room, there's no wins for me. There is 0 wins for me beating up on you or just even engaging you in war. Yeah. Except in dominoes. You understand? You watch your mouth. Make you go home and cry. But anyway, point is this, because I do talk shit at dominoes. I'm just letting you know, I'm not going to whoop that ass, but I'm gonna also talk shit. So, but anyway, let's get back to me. I'm going to leave my greatness alone, my privileges. I created friction in this class to simulate when you get in the real world, you got to be able to take money from that white person who calls you an N-word. And if you can't, because you're too fucking sensitive and too fragile, you'll be back to work in no time. Have a good year, y'all. See you next year.